answer. Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Doan Ford, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Valentine Insurance, People's Bank, Laborers Local 530, 45 Logistics, Higgins Lumber, Guernsey Muskingum Electric Cooperative, and Greg's Motor Sales.
On the campus of John Glenn tonight, the Philo Electrics and John Glenn Muskies will face a key Week 9 contest that will have major play. My name is Mike Snively, and it will be my pleasure to describe tonight's action in the Muskingum Valley League Slugfest. Joining me on the color tonight will be Mike Plaziak. The Muskies enter tonight's contest with a record of 7-1, while the Electrics sport a record of 5-3. John Glenn sits in 10th place in Division III, Region 11, while 13th in Division IV, Region 15. The top 16 teams in each region earn playoff spots. The top 8 get a round 1 home game, and the top 4 get 2 home playoff games. Okay, just at the stat, this thing has a defensive battle written all over it.
It's the Little Muskies giving up just a little over 7 points a game, and they're very good, undefeated. Just 14 points early in the year. I got a chance to see them week 3 against New Left. Great football game right here on the campus of John Glenn.
Well, the thing I've noticed, and we talked, to me it looks like we're not going to see a whole lot. It's going to be a run game by Ben, and to throw it down the diagonal. It's not. It's going to be out of the shotgun, and we're going to see a lot from John Glenn, from Philo, and we're going to see a lot with the quarterback Preston from Philo.
And of course, a lot of Quinlan was hurt 2 weeks ago,
right?
In the so that's a 5'10", 145 quarterback spot, and so we'll probably see them basically rely on the ground game, I would think, here tonight.
Yeah, John. 2 games ago in the first half when Windland went down with a shoulder injury. Windland's had a shoulder injury just about basically his whole career, and it got banged up against Maysville. Johnson came in and did an admirable job against Maysville when Will Nicholas on the 41-yard field goal. Let's look at some schedules for John Glenn.
Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge. Don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Set to host the 5-3 Philo Electrics with many major playoff implications in this evening's contest. Well, Plaz, we expect a big running game tonight for both teams. When I think of that, I think, well, who's got the better line? And I haven't seen Philo this year. John Glenn's line John Glenn is two platooning, and that's a huge, huge advantage. When you can two platoon guys, three defensive linemen they use on defense and 5 separate offensive linemen on offense, and that's just a huge advantage.
Yeah, I had a chance to see Philo earlier in the year against West Muskies, and if I remember right, they do very little substitution. It's basically, pretty much the same 11 guys offensively and defensively. I'll tell you a stat, Mike, that stood out to me when I was looking at things today is the Little Muskies have only turned the ball over 8 times.
8 times.
This entire year. That's incredible for a high school team, for any team at any level.
Right. And I think John Glenn, I think one guy has 7 interceptions.
Well, so I saw him get 3 that night here against New Lex.
Braden Payton to kick it off for the Electrics. And that's going to go take a bounce barely into the end zone. And that's going to bring the ball out to the 20-yard line. Kickoff temperature here, a real feel of 68. A little bit of wind coming from the south. As mentioned before, we've had great weather. 19th straight week in Muskingum County on Friday night, going clear back to last year. Now the weather's coming tomorrow.
I say it sounds like that's about to change tomorrow.
It's about to change tomorrow. So Muskies lineup. Jake Johnson will be the starter tonight. He's going to start off at quarterback. Gilcher, the sidecar to his right. And that play took a little bit of time to develop, but Glob gets the handoff, and that was Andrew Glob, number 16. He picks up the first down on a gain of about 11 on that first carry. So big start there for Andrew Glob. Glob only that's his first carry on the year. Jake Johnson on the keeper, and he's going to be taken down for a minimal loss. Taken down by number 17 for the Electrics, Braden Bernard. He's a 5'9" junior. Second and 9 for John Glenn, who's wearing white helmets, maroon pants, and maroon jerseys. Philo in all white helmets, jerseys, and pants. Pitch out to Gilcher, nothing doing there for Gilcher. A host of Electrics all over that play, including number 1, Benson Bateson. So no gain on the play, 3rd and 9 for the Muskies. So breaking news, Noah Winland not in at quarterback, starting for the John Glenn Muskies. Johnson in the shotgun, Gilcher sidecar to the right, Glob motions over to the right. Snap back, Johnson throws out, incomplete, intended out in the flat for Gilcher. Wouldn't have been enough of the first down. So the punt team will be trotting on the field for the Muskies.
Kind of had the nose of the football pointed down a little bit on that throw and just did not have enough on it to get out to the receiver.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he had a good grip on the ball.
Back to the return for the Electric is Seth Hanning.
Punting for the Muskies tonight will be Evan Rector.
Evan Rector will be punting for the Muskies.
Muskies get the punt off. And it's a nice returnable punt there for number 11. That's number 11 for Seth Henning.
Henning returned it just past midfield.
Henning last week had a 72-yard touchdown catch for the Electrics at Tri-Valley. But Henning has a nice return, gets it inside the Muskie territory. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Electrics at the John Glenn 48-yard line.
Boy, he's able to catch that in full stride, and a nice return, and gives Philo a good field position here to start their initial drive of the night.
Makes a big difference when you field a punt.
It
Then
sure
let that
does.
thing roll. So the Electrics will be moving from left to right on your radio dial. We're also on YRP TV streaming live. Cameron Summers has his digital media class from Mid-East doing the job tonight for us. Carson Rowland, a John Glenn student, on a camera, and Cameron Love, a West Muskingum student. Also want to thank our board operator back at the station, Ray Shriver. A couple lineman substitutions.
Yeah, I don't know what a couple of them look like they're trying to rub their
eye black. Here comes another one.
Yes, they're sending all of them off the field.
Okay, this is a first. The referees are sending them off the field.
Every single one
to get
of
the eye black off.
Evidently, it's more than what is permitted by the rules of the OHSAA.
And that's exactly what the official's telling them.
Yep.
Coach Dirk Linscomb, who's in his 15th year at Philo, has a couple questions for the official. Coach Linscomb, 88 and 58 in his 15th year at Philo. I've never seen this one, though, Plaz.
This is a first for me also, Mike, and we've both seen a lot of football.
Yeah, the eye black is just a little bit too much, and now they got the towels out, and people were licking their hands trying to get it off. And I think it was basically 4 of the 5 linemen. And here they come back on the field.
I think you're allowed just a little strip across them, Mike, but they had pretty much the whole cheekbone area was all painted up.
Well, nobody's using it for to get the sun out.
I
of
don't
their
think
eyes.
so. No, not at
It's more for show.
10 after 7 at night.
No. Every time I put it on Plaza, I always wipe my sweat off, and it went on my jersey, and it was gone. So we got 2 Talons in the backfield for Philo. Quarterback will be Talon Preston. He's a 6-foot junior. And then Talon Bailey will be the running back. He's a 5'6" junior. Talon Preston on the season has almost 600 yards. He's averaging almost 7 yards per carry and has 11 touchdowns. More of a runner than a thrower. He was 3 of 6 passing last week against Tri-Valley. So handoff to, and that was Talon Bailey.
Flag down on the play.
Yeah, see the late flag. Well, looks like we have a hold.
Nick Sanders was in on the stop.
Usually you don't see a hold on a inside run like that. The action happened too quick. Nonetheless, Bailey picked up 1 or maybe none, and John Glenn's going to take that 10-yard penalty. That's going to make it 2nd and 20. So that marches it back to the Electric 42-yard line.
And that's not what you want if you're Coach Linscomb, because you're having a hard enough time this year moving the ball as it is. You don't want to put yourself in 1st and 20 to begin with here.
Yeah. And now we have another whistle.
Reset the play clock.
I lost. Preston, pass out to number 11, Seth Henning, but nothing going on there.
No Winland on the stop.
Winland, who is not starting at quarterback, made a big stop there and brings up a 2nd and 20 for John Glenn. Apologize for any technical difficulties. Feel like we have somewhat of a short here. Seem to be back on now.
As long as we keep you live, Mike, we're going to be okay.
As long as you can hear me. Preston takes the snap. We have a fumble. Ball's been on the ground for a while, and it's going to be picked up by number 3, Cameron Barnhouse. Barnhouse is going to the house, and that's going to be a 35-yard touchdown return. There are 3 orange flags on the play, and I think that's for a fumble. So
we got another yellow flag down here, Mike, at about the 27-yard line.
Okay, we do. So the only thing I can think would be a block in the back, which would negate a 35-yard touchdown return by Cameron Barnhouse. That ball laid on the field for a good 3 seconds before anybody got to it. 2 people tried to scoop it, and eventually Cameron Barnhouse did. It is a touchdown. We have a personal foul on John Glenn.
On Philo.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was on Philo. On Philo. So it must have been some hitting going on way behind the play, so I'm sure John Glenn will take that penalty on the kickoff. So Nick Lazakis, who is 31 of 31 on PATs this year, will line up and kick the extra point. And usually after a defensive touchdown, you forget you got to get the kicking ball out there. Usually there's usually somebody not out there that should be. This time it was the kicking ball was not the correct ball out there. So 23 seconds, plenty of play time left on the play clock. Kick is up, and it hits off the crossbar for his first miss of the year. A lot of heavy pressure. So with 9:18 left in the first quarter here in New Concord, John Glenn leads Philo 6-0. You are watching and listening to MBL football on YRP TV and Nash Icon. We'll be right back.
Calling all truck drivers. If you're looking for a change, 45 Logistics in Zanesville wants you to join their team. 45 Logistics is a family-owned regional trucking company in Zanesville. Enjoy being home every weekend with no team runs and no hazmat endorsement required. Earn 54 cents per mile, plus health benefits, paid vacation, and safety bonuses. For more information, call 740-647-1430 or online at 45dli.com. Everyone at 45 Logistics wants to wish the local teams good luck this football season.
Back to New Concord. John Glenn leads Philo 6-0 after a Cameron Barnhouse 35-yard scoop and score defensively for the Muskies. And the extra point had some outside pressure from Philo, and Nick Lazakis missed his first extra point of the year, now 31 of 32 on the season.
And that personal foul penalty was called against Philo on the fumble return has been marked off here on the kickoff.
John Glenn may want to look on onside kicking here because they're going to be kicking off. John Glenn's going to be kicking off from the other 45-yard line. So this is where Nick Lazakis can put this in the end zone, or even if you onside kick, worst case scenario would be just inside the 35, maybe 30-yard line. Waiting on the official signal here. Nick Lazakis puts the left foot to it, and he kicks it, and it gets down to the 1-yard line, and it's going to be fielded, and it's going to be taken out to about the 19, 18-yard line. I believe that was number Seth Henning. Henning's a senior, 5'8", 145-pounder. Henning gets it out to about the 18-yard line.
He might have been better served there to just go ahead and let that thing go into the end zone.
2-yard difference, but every little bit helps.
19-yard line, 18-yard line.
Wind has died down here.
Great evening for high school football, especially considering the time of year it is. You couldn't ask for better than this.
It is absolutely perfect. The 10 fastest weeks in a calendar year has to be football.
Most certainly is.
So here come the Electrics. And they have a bunch of guys bunched up at the line of scrimmage. Handoff on a jet sweep, and he's going to be taken down quickly. Might have lost 2 yards. Ball carrier on that play was number 11. That was Seth Henning. Henning lost 2 on that play. A host of John Glenn Muskies there to bring down Henning. 2nd and 12. Philo now on their own 16-yard line. One thing I've seen from this John Glenn D-line is to keep it simple. They push the offensive line on the other side for most of the year.
They've got some size, and they're pretty agile along the front line there.
Talon Preston speaks to Talon Bailey. They wanted the recall of the play. Going to be a quick slant, nobody home. Barnhouse chasing Preston. He has to throw it away, and he throws it out of bounds, but under heavy duress was Talon Preston by Cameron Barnhouse, who has the first touchdown of the game
Under pressure.
for the Muskies.
Barnhouse.
I say good pressure that time by the outside linebacker Cameron Barnhouse, who already has one fumble return for a touchdown.
Every game I've seen Barnhouse, I think it's my fourth game I've seen John Glenn. He's a ball hawk.
Yes, he is.
He's a ball hawk. He and Andrew Glob are all around the football. Now we have another official's timeout. And they're going to send off number 52. That is Charlie Cameron for John Glenn. Wonder if he has face paint on.
For the Electrics.
Incoming will be number 84, Dylan Fortney, at inside linebacker. Deep drop by Preston. Preston under duress again by Altier. And that's a pass incomplete on the sideline, intended for number 19, Jack Linscomb, son of Coach Dirk Linscomb. That's going to bring up 4th and 12, and the Philo punting unit will be coming on. Back deep punting for Philo tonight will be number 77, number 77, Mason Runkle. Back deep for the Muskies will be Metzger and Glob. Metzger catches it, fields it dangerously, but once again saves some field position by catching the return, and the Muskies are going to start their second offensive possession with good field position on the Electrics' 44-yard line.
Good coverage that time by Braden Bernard and also Braden Blinkney. Good timing, I tell you what, there's no interference with that. They timed that perfect.
All the years I've watched Philo, their special teams has always been really good, and they always got a few headhunters on those special teams. Now it looks like Owen Edwards in at quarterback for the Muskies. Edwards, just a sophomore. First pass, he's going yard, and it's up in the air and intended for Jake Johnson, who was just previously at quarterback. But a nice defensive effort out there by, I believe that was Seth Henning.
Great coverage out there by Henning.
Yeah.
He was all over him.
I like the play call, though, stretching the defense out just a little bit.
Of course, Johnson was one of the top receivers for the Little Muskies before he was pressed into duty as a quarterback after Williams'
He was
injury.
the top receiver, 26 catches for 200 yards. This time, Owen Edwards, he's going to be taken down on the run-pass option. Nothing doing there. And a great defensive effort there by number 34, Braden Bleakney, the 5'11", 168-pound senior. So that's going to bring up 3rd and a long 13 for the Muskies.
3rd and 13 for the Muskies.
7:33 left here in the first quarter. I'm Mike Snively with Mike Plaziak. 6-0 John Glenn leads Philo. 3rd and 13, ball at the Electric 47-yard line. Edwards sends Glob in motion to the left. Going to be a jailbreak screen there intended for Johnson, but it goes incomplete. So that's going to give John Glenn a little decision here. This is an area, Plaz, where sometimes John Glenn likes to just set their quarterback in shotgun, stepping back 3 more yards and punt it. So it's 4th and 13. Edwards claps his hands. Philo, discipline, does not jump. Edwards looks down to his wristband. Looks like he is going to throw. Edwards throws, and it's up in the air and incomplete. Intended for number 80, Ryder Pennington. And it went through the arms, and probably wisely, of the Philo defender, who, had he caught that, would have acted as a punt. So this time Philo gets good field position. Ball back out they will get the ball at their own 47-yard line. 46-yard line.
Brings up 1st and 10 for the Electrics from the
I wonder about that call a little bit right there, Mike. I mean, no better. I did too, because no better than Philo's been able to move the ball so far. You're actually giving them great field position here to start their third drive of the night.
One could say Coach Edwards has extreme confidence in his defense. Coach Edwards in his 9th season here at John Glenn, he's 54-41.
And that defense has been stellar all year, only giving up just a little over 7 points a game.
Hand off to number 7 this time, Aiden Mahon.
Mahon is the carrier.
Mahon is a 6'2", 155-pound junior. That is Philo's best gain on the night. Picked up 5 yards, 2nd and 5, moves into John Glenn territory. Mahon stays in the game beside Talon Preston. And we have somebody lined up off sides, and looks like to me 67, I believe that's going to be Alex Altiers lined up in the neutral zone for John Glenn.
Exactly. First penalty of the night against the Little Muskies.
And the only way we can tell, because it's directly in our perfect line.
They could have been lined up anybody.
Yeah,
They could have.
In high school, once you line up and set your hands, you're considered. You don't get a chance to back up.
So it looks like they're going to bring the chains out here for a measurement.
Yeah, it was 2nd and 5. And looked like it was right at 5. So the chain gang comes out. I'm going to take a look at it. Hey, Pouet, think tight, that's going to be a first down. Philo.
First down of the night for the Electrics comes with 6:30 to go in the first quarter.
The Electrics 5-3. Obviously playing John Glenn tonight at home against Maysville in Week 10, fighting for a playoff spot. Preston keeps it himself this time, jukes and jives, and he's going to be stacked up quickly by Gavin Garber.
Brought down by Gavin Garber.
That's going to be a gain of 1 for the Electrics.
Brings up a 2nd and 9.
Boy, good pursuit that time by the second line of defense for the Little Muskies.
Tonight we'll be talking about our play of the game, sponsored by People's Bank, our drive of the game, sponsored by Greg's Motor Sales, and we will have a Lock 9 player of the game, and we will also have our Guernsey Muskingum Electric lineman of the game from each team. Preston this time, nothing doing up front. I'm going to guess 9 players around the ball there for the Muskies. Good team pursuit defense. And maybe a short gain of a half yard. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 8.
But this could very well be 4 down territory for the Electrics.
So 5:25 and ticking here. 6-0, John Glenn leads the Philo Electrics. Tight bunch formation here to the right. Tight end to the left. Shotgun, sidecar left. In motion goes Seth Henning. Back deep is Preston. Hits the tight end over the middle. And that's number 44 for a first down. That's Drew Wright.
Pass is complete. Number 44,
So
Drew Wright.
on the march come the Electrics with their 2nd first down of the night inside the 30-yard line.
First down for the Electrics.
And we have another official's timeout. This time it's an equipment issue. And it looks like somebody's headgear needs some snapping. You know, I haven't noticed one of the better linebackers in the NVL, Bronson Bendel, the last 2 possessions in the game for the Muskies. Same formation for the Electrics. This time Preston straight ahead, sort of an ISO play. We got a flag, going to be a hold on the Electric. The ball's on the ground, and they're going to give it to, let's see. We don't get a signal yet. One official's pointing toward John Glenn, and I think I think it's going to be John Glenn football.
It is.
Fumble on the play. I didn't see who recovered the football. But John Glenn football, they recover the ball at the 28-yard line. Their own 28-yard line. So that's the second fumble
From the 28.
and turnover by the Philo Electrics.
The flag was for a hold against one of the offensive linemen for the Electrics, but of course that was refused.
And the referees have been impactful early in this game
Yes, they
here
have.
in New Concord for a variety of reasons. So Johnson this time comes out a quarterback. He takes a snap, hands it to Gilcher. Gilcher's got a little bit of room, picks up about 5.
Gilcher on the carry.
Taken down by number 17, Braden Bernard.
Tackled by number 17, Braden Bernard.
Bernard, the inside linebacker. He's a 5'9", 190-pound junior.
I saw him earlier in the year. He was just coming off of an injury, and I tell you, he was a valuable addition, especially on the defensive side for Philo.
Johnson to Gilcher again. Gilcher's got lots of room, and he's going to pick up about 25, 26 yards on that play. Takes it in the Electric territory. He gets it all the way down to the Philo 43-yard line. First down, John Glenn.
Seth Henning on the tackle for the Electrics. Brings up a first.
Clock stays moving. 3:49 left here in the first quarter. The two Mikes at you, Mike Snively, Mike Plaziak. This time Johnson fakes to Gilcher, and Johnson has a lot of room, and he's going to pick up another first down, gain of 13. So Jake Johnson keeps the rhythm going here for the Muskies.
Electrics brings up another first and 10 for the Muskies.
John Glenn wants to keep the momentum going.
Ball on the 30-yard line.
Senior night here in New Concord. This time John Glenn slows it down a hair. Johnson takes the snap, pitches it out to Gilcher. Gilcher has to cut it back inside. This time not as big a gain,
Gilcher the ball
but it looks like he picks up about 4, maybe 3. We'll give him a long 3 there, Plaz.
and Carter Crabtree.
Taken down by Carter Crabtree for the Electrics.
Which is a good gain on first down because they are definitely down in 4-down territory. They're working from the Philo 28-yard line.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed with John Glenn this year. They do go for it quite a bit. Not as much as Meadowbrook. Meadowbrook will go for it just about anywhere.
That's kind of a common theme across the country
Yeah,
right now. It
just
seems
going
like
for
you
it.
watch a lot of games on TV, and there's so many coaches
Just
now.
going for it. Lane Hall in motion. Straight run here by Jake Johnson. Nice cut there by Johnson. And he's going to take it to third and short. And we had a late hit. Well,
Savage on the tackle.
No flag.
no flag on either team there. And the official sent both number 11, Lane Hall, and number 1, Blitzen Bateson, off to the side. I see that. That must be a new officiating thing too. Instead of throwing a flag, they take them out for a play. I've seen that several times this year, but that's going to bring up 3rd and 2 for the Muskies. In at fullback for the Muskies. I don't have a 43 on my roster. He's in motion. It's a handoff to Gilcher. Gilcher cannot get outside. It's going to be just short of the first. That's going to be close. And now we have another late flag.
And I think that was for a block downfield by the young man, like you said, that we don't even have a number for, or a name for.
Not on our roster.
No.
But that was going to be close to a first down, but now that's going to bring it back, and that's going to make it about 3rd and 16. And they're going to get a personal foul face mask on Philo.
Face mask.
Wow.
I thought they threw that against number 43 for that block downfield.
The only thing I can think of is the Philo defender grabbed him by the face mask and threw him down. So a costly penalty there on the Electrics. And that's going to bring up 1st and goal. And they cannot pick up a first down from here, just inside the 10-yard line. And this time Metzger was going to be the Wildcat, and there's going to be a timeout called, and we're going to use it with him. So with 139. Jeez. A minute 39 left here in the first quarter. John Glenn leads Philo. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You are watching and listening to MVL Football on YRP TV.
Promises. You've heard them all. Peace of mind, quality insurance products, superior claim service, all at a fair and competitive price. Since 1848, Westfield Insurance has promised to provide excellent insurance coverage for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust. That is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers. For a quote on protecting your home, auto, and business, call W.B. Green Insurance today. W.B. Green, professional insurance.
Back to John Glenn High School. John Glenn leads Philo 6-0. Minute 39 here in the first quarter. John Glenn driving, first and goal, ball just inside the 10-yard line. Reese Metzger has the ball.
Or is the quarterback in what we would call the Wildcat formation. He takes it, crosses the 10, and he's tripped up. Tripped up maybe by his own player, maybe tripped over Gilcher's foot, and he gets it down to about the 7.
Second and goal, Muskies from the 7.
Well, maybe one too many moves right there, Mike. They had a nice hole open up there off the right tackle spot. Looked like he was going to be able to get more than what he did.
Well, they're going to try it again. This time they're going to bring Alex Altier as a fullback to the left side. This time they bring Metzger to the... Then he gets it down this time and inside the 5, and they're still pushing ahead. I tell you what, the helmet came off, and we're down inside probably the 2, Plaz. Metzger's helmet came off, so he's going to have to sit out for a play.
Reese Metzger was the ball carrier there.
And he gets it to about the 2.
Brings up a 3rd and 2 for the Muskies.
37 seconds and ticking here. Metzger comes out.
Plenty of time here. The play clock just down to 22 seconds.
The fourth quarterback actually of the night, Noah Winland, the original starter, he's going to come out. He's going to take the snap. He goes straight ahead, and he gets stuffed at about he might have got a yard. And that's probably going to wrap it up for the first quarter. That's going to bring up 4th down from the 2 as the clock ticks down. And that's going to end the first quarter here in New Concord. So at the end of the first quarter, John Glenn leads Philo 6-0. You are watching and listening to MVL Football on YRP TV and the Nash Icon. We'll be back in a minute.
This is the Buckeye Tire Pros Scoreboard Show. Barnesville leads Shenandoah 14-0. Beaver Local leads Cambridge 21-0. Morgan leads Meadowbrook 15-0. Buckeye Trail leading East Canton 8-0. West Muskingum holds a 7-0 lead over Coshocton. Cumberstown holds a 14-0 lead over Strasburg. Union Local holds a 13-0 lead over Bel Air, and New Lexington holds a 15-0 lead over Crooksville.
What is a cooperative? A cooperative like Guernsey Muskingum Electric is your local rural electric provider. The owners are not investors on Wall Street. They are actual members using the electricity. Decisions are made by local directors who know, listen, and care about their neighbors. A cooperative is not driven by profit or stock prices. Instead, they are driven by providing safe, reliable electricity at a reasonable price. That's the cooperative difference. Guernsey Muskingum Electric, your touchstone energy cooperative.
Back to John Glenn High School. John Glenn leads Philo 6-0. Start of the second quarter. John Glenn inside the Philo 2-yard line. Quarterback Noah Winland in the game. Jumbo formation, package 4 of the John Glenn Muskies. Winland up the middle, and he has no problem getting in the end zone. So Noah Winland takes it in from 2 yards out. The senior quarterback, who's actually been the 4th quarterback tonight for John Glenn, takes it in to give John Glenn a 12-0 lead. Extra point pending by Nick Lazonka, who missed his first
Extra point earlier in the game. Nick Lazonka's kick is up. And that one looks good, so that's going to make it 13-0 John Glenn. They lead Philo from the first play in the second quarter with 11:56 left. John Glenn, 13, Philo nothing. You are watching and listening to MBL Football on YRP TV and the Nash Icon. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
People's Bank's vision is to be the best community bank in America. People's Bank provides local, hometown relationship-based banking with 132 full-service branches for all of your financial needs. As your community bank, People's Bank strives to make our communities a better place to live, work, and play. We would love a chance to earn your business. People's Bank, working together, building success. Member FDIC.
Back at John Glenn, Mike Sniley and Mike Plaziak. Noah Winland just took it in from 2 yards out to give the Muskies a 13-0 advantage over the Philo Electric.
And Mike, Philo so far has been their own worst enemy. They've had 3 penalties for
5 yards to go along with 2 lost fumbles.
Good point, Plaz. You're exactly right. So Philo trying to get some type of momentum. Nicholas Aukus kicks it off, and it's going to be fielded by Henning. Henning brings it out, gets it across the 20, and he's going to be taken down right at about the 25-yard line. And trying to get some numbers on the tackler there. And I believe that was number 84, Dylan Fortney, the 5'10", 190-pound junior. John Glenn special teams have been pretty good this year. So here comes the Philo offense. Just 2 first downs, I believe. Is that correct, Plaz, on the evening?
For Philo?
Yeah.
I just have them for the 1.
The 1?
I might have missed 1.
I know they had the 2 fumbles. So bunch formation to the right. And I believe that's a handoff to, let's see if that's Talon Bailey or Aiden Mahon. Everybody's still getting up. And that was number 13, Talon Bailey. So 2 Talons on the team. Talon Preston, the quarterback, T-A-L-O-N, and the running back, Talon Bailey, T-A-L-A-N.
And Mike, I'm still not seeing Bronson Bendel on the field for on defense for the Little Muskies.
From what we heard, he hobbled off the field and doesn't look to be walking great. Preston going to throw a run-pass option incomplete. Good defense out there by number 2, Christopher Wise. Pass was intended for Seth Henning. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
Even if that had been completed, he wasn't going to go anywhere because good coverage out there.
So once again, Plaz, as you mentioned before, this is not where Philo wants to be in any 3rd or 4th and long situations. Right now, John Glenn is winning 1st and 2nd down, their defense against this Philo offense. So Preston, Bailey the sidecar. This is a Preston throw, and he's going to throw this one almost intercepted by Noah Winland. Pass was intended for Seth Henning.
And I think we've got an ineligible receiver downfield for the Electrics, which I'm sure is going to be declined here by the Little Muskies.
You're exactly right. And that could give John Glenn good field position again. So here comes the punting unit for the Electrics. 4th and 9. And we have a sighting of Bronson Bendel on crutches.
He is straight across from us there on the 50-yard line.
Punts up, fielded by Andrew Glob. Nice catch and nice coverage there by the Electric. Braden Bernard, the initial special teams defender, to stop Andrew Glob.
But Glob did what he's supposed to do. That's what coaches tell you to do. You got to field the ball in the air, and he did a nice job of that.
You know, Plaz, I watch college sometimes. Sometimes you watch the Steelers or somebody, and they got a guy back there that struggles to catch it.
I know.
You know? And all you got to do is you save your team 20 yards. But that's a great job by Andrew Glob just to catch the ball.
That's two in a row.
Yeah.
Punts that he's fielded in traffic.
This time we're going to see Owen Edwards on at quarterback for the John Glenn Muskies. Sidecar is going to be Ryder Rock. Edwards fakes the handoff to Rock. Edwards got some room. He's going to pick up 5.
Edwards on the carry.
It's like that pitcher throwing that fastball and changeup. Fastball and changeup. That's what we're seeing right now from the John Glenn offense.
Spencer Shook on the tackle of the Electrics. Brings it up with 2nd and 5.
So this time Rock will be to Edwards' left. Trips left, single receiver to the right. Handoff this time to Rock. Rock gets up and down the field pretty good there. He picks up 8. That's a first down, John Glenn.
For a Muskie first down.
And we have a little pushing and shoving at the end of the play. No flags were thrown there. John Glenn quickly to the line. Ball on the Electric 38-yard line. Edwards this time rolls to his left, flips his hips, throws, has an open receiver, and that's number 15, Jake Johnson. And the Electrics may have gotten away with a face mask there, but another first down. That's Johnson's 27th catch on the year. He has 213 yards. Quickly to the line come the Muskies. Handoff this time to Rock. Rock tries a stiff arm, but nothing doing there, and he's going to be taken down by number 15, Anthony Stidham.
Anthony Stidham for the Electrics.
So that's going to bring up 2nd and 9. 9:30 left here, second quarter. 13-0 John Glenn leads Philo. Week 9, many playoff implications on tonight's game. In motion goes Lane Hall. Just a keeper there by Owen Edwards.
Edwards on the keeper.
And that's going to be, brings up a 3rd and 6. He got about 3 on the play.
Brings up a 3rd and 5.
That was number 56, Ashton Schultz on the tackle
on a stop for the Electrics.
for Philo.
So it's a little fire plug right there to his nose tackle position. List him at 5'7", 280.
5'7", 280. And moves well.
Yes, he does.
So Muskies to the line. Maybe just inside field goal range here. Hand off to Rock. Rock jitterbugs. Gets about 3. Stayed behind that big offensive line. But that's going to bring up 4th and 2.5, we'll call it. But I think, for all intents and purposes, John Glenn's going for this one. They lead by 13, clock under 8:15 here in the second quarter.
From there, it'd be probably about a 34-yard field goal attempt.
And we know that Nick Lazakis has range from at least 41. Late on the field comes Larrick. Plenty of time left on the play clock. All in motion. Owen Edwards fakes the pitch, and this is going to be close. This is going to be close. And the chain guys want to move. The officials haven't signaled yet. First down, John Glenn.
First down, Muskies.
So that's going to take the ball down to the 15-yard line.
Going to be 1st and 10 for the Muskies from the 15-yard line.
Nice sustained drive this time here by the Little Muskies.
Now in at quarterback will be Reese Metzger. We still got to get a name for number 43. We don't have him on our roster. Metzger this time run all the way to the left, and there's nothing doing. And he may have lost the ball.
He put the ball on the ground.
And he lost the ball, and Philo recovered the ball. And that was a nice defensive play. Just nowhere to go for Metzger. Number 5 recovered this fumble. That was Spencer Shook. Spencer Shook. They have 2 number 5s on their roster, but they say that the older one is we're going to go with the junior. They have a lot of double numbers, Plaz.
And I don't know why, because they don't have that many.
They don't have over 100 players, right? A lot of double numbers. I'm going to go with Spencer Shook there on the recovery for Philo.
And again, that's just the 9th turnover on the year for the Little Muskies in the 9th game of the season. I think you and I both jinxed them tonight with the number turnover and the extra point.
Right. So Talon Preston out leading this electric offense. Fakes to nobody, and then that thing gets batted down quickly by Gavin Garber. And that looked like a jailbreak there with that rush provided there by the John Glenn defense.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Electrics.
Want to thank Cam Summers and his digital media class from Mideast, able to digitally stream this game tonight. We have Carson Rowland, a John Glenn student, and Cameron Love, a West Muskingum student, on the cameras for us tonight. 7:07, clock stopped here. 2nd and 10, Electrics. Preston run all the way to the left, and he's going to initially be stopped by number 5, Noah Windland. And we have a late flag. The body's still rolling. And let's see what the back judge threw the flag from about 20 yards away. Let's see what he has to say here. Personal foul, and that's going to go on Philo again, Plaz.
Wow.
Is that the 3rd personal foul?
That is the 3rd personal foul, yes.
So
that'll be half the distance, probably.
And it was already 3rd and 8. So that's going to knock it to about 3rd and 19. 3rd and 19. So Philo shooting themselves in the foot again. Preston in the shotgun. He's just going to throw it down the middle. He hits Drew Wright, and Drew Wright's going to be tackled quickly by number 2, Christopher Wise. It's not going to be enough for the first down. He's going to pick up 11, but that's still going to bring up 4th and 8 for the Electrics. 6:33 and counting here, 2nd quarter in John Glenn. Punting unit runs on for the blue and gold.
Wright's a good-looking target for Preston to throw to, yeah. About 6'3", 215.
Remember him in basketball, in the paint. That's number 77, Mason Runkle.
Oh.
And they try to fake.
Nothing doing.
And now we have a late flag, and we still have some pushing and shoving. Boy, there's been a lot of pushing and shoving going on tonight. I'll let the officials get this figured out. False start on Philo. Penalty obviously is going to be declined. And we have a dead ball, personal foul on John Glenn this time. So John Glenn would have got the ball at about the Electric 22-yard line. That's going to back it up probably to about the 37-yard line.
He still pointed as if he's going to give the ball to John Glenn. It might have been a penalty after the play, dead ball penalty maybe.
It should be John Glenn's ball after the play, dead ball. This one's getting chippy.
It kind of has been since the start of this game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether there's bad feelings between these two schools, but...
Well, Philo and John Glenn, as does any other, these two border each other, and I think there's a little bit of a rivalry there. I remember these two teams went at it back in the regional final. When
that's right.
Regional final game over in Zanesville in front of about 8,000 people. John Glenn gets the ball at the 39-yard line of the Electrics. Jake Johnson in at quarterback. 6:11 left in the second quarter. Trips to the left, shade to the right, and we got a flag. And I'll tell you right there, Jake Johnson made a heck of a play just to gain nothing.
He sure did.
But we're going to have a flag, and then we have a hurt player here for Philo.
They're going to call hold against John Glenn.
Jack Linscomb, who already has a cast on his right arm, is holding his left shoulder. I've never seen officials with so many bean bags in their pockets.
Oh my God! And they're using them all tonight too.
Yeah, and they're very visible. And they're going to back up What was the call there, Plaz?
Holding against John Glenn.
I was too busy looking at the officials' attire. So holding on John Glenn, that's going to back it up. It's going to make it 1st and 20 for John Glenn.
This game has gotten kind of ugly, Mike.
It has. It really has. Snap to Johnson, rolls to his left, under heavy pressure, tries to outrun him, can't, loses a yard, brought down by number 17, Braden Bernard. Bernard's been all over the field tonight for this electric defense. That puts the ball back to midfield. That's going to bring up about 2nd and 21.
That play was destined for failure from the beginning.
The down marker does say 3rd and 21, but it should be 2nd.
Yes.
And there he just moved it. Johnson, quick slant, quick hitch, I should say. Pass out to number 9, Joey Wentland. That's Wentland's 14th reception on the yard. He has 108 receiving yards on the year. Now that's going to be 3rd, but it's going to be 3rd and a long ways to go for John Glenn. Although you pick up half of it here, Plaz, you're probably going to go for it. You might go for it anyway.
Coach Edwards always gone for it. Of course, not 4th and this long. But again, they got one more play to pick at least part of this up here.
You want to probably get about half of it. Coach Edwards is taking his time. He may let this run down and call a timeout. And that's exactly what he's going to do. And we're going to take it with him. So with 4:27 left here in the second quarter, John Glenn leads Philo 13-0. You're watching and listening to MVL Football on YRP TV and Nash Icon. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Greg Motor Sales, located at 2840 South River Road in Zanesville, would like to wish all the local high school athletes good luck with their upcoming season. At Greg Motor Sales, they sell used cars starting at $39.95 and up and have financing options available. If you're looking for your next affordable and reliable car, give Greg Motor Sales a call at 740-454-7060 or visit their website, gregsmotorsales.net.
Philo 13-0. Again, updates around Lakeport.
Okay, we just heard the announcer here said that the Sheridan lead has been cut at home against Tri-Valley. The General now leads 10-7 in the second quarter. Also, a surprise
From Bosville tonight, the Morgan Raiders in the second quarter lead Meadowbrook 42-0.
Wow.
In Toronto, they have the early lead tonight on the Caldwell Redskins 13-7 also in the second quarter.
Okay.
Union Local an early lead 20-0 against Bel Air. Maysville all over Riverview at this time 35-0 in Zanesville.
Johnson hurls it deep. He's got a wide open receiver. And Kobe Shade just couldn't pull it in there at the 10-yard line. That would have been a big at least 40-yard play. But a nice throw there by Jake Johnson.
Hit him in a bad spot, Mike. Hit him right in the hands.
Kind of had to do that little turn back.
It was an easy catch, but I tell you what, Johnson threw a really nice ball that time.
Never really adjusted his body correctly to catch that ball. This time we are going to see the punting unit for John Glenn. And that was Evan Rector with a good punt, and that ball is going to roll right into the end zone. Number 3, Cameron Barnhouse, couldn't locate the ball, and he's just shaking his head.
And it was right beside him.
And he's a special teams demon, but he's saying that's my fault. He was down there quick enough. He just could not locate the football.
Well, the ball never got very high on the kick. Right. It was a low-line drive, and he just wasn't able to find it, which is understandable.
So Philo will take over at the 20-yard line. They trail the Muskies 13-0. 4:10 left here in the second quarter. Mike Snively, Mike Plaziak in New Concord. Week 9. Winner will...
Amazing, isn't it?
Oh, geez.
One more week left of the regular season.
Of course, 16 teams now go to the playoffs. 2 home games for teams that earn it this year. And every first-round game is on a Friday night this year. So Talon Preston takes the handoff, and he's taken down by several John Glenn Muskies. Number 74's Nick Zanders in there for the John Glenn Muskies. Preston picks up about 4. Philo offense struggling the last three possessions.
That's actually one of their better games on the evening so far.
I think their longest run is 5. That was 4. Handoff this time to number 7, Aiden Mahon. Mahon's going to be short of the first down. Gets it up to, they gave him the first down. So first down, John Glenn, so he picked up 6. Needed 6, got 6 1/4. Yeah, so ball's at the 30-yard line. Makes sense to me now.
Yes.
Because it started at the 20. So bunch trip receivers to the left. Tight end to the right. Henning in motion to the right. High snap handled by Preston. Preston throws it out, maybe a lateral. Throws it out, and he hits number 16. That's Jacob Savage.
To Jacob Savage.
Taken out by Christopher Wise after a gain of 4.
And Christopher Wise on the stop.
That's going to bring up 2nd and 6. Clock ticking. 2:36 left here.
2nd down and 6.
In the second quarter. Philo appears to be in no hurry. Trips to the right this time. And they get a wide open receiver just overthrown. That was intended for number 22, Alex Evans. Evans was wide open. We saw something a little different there from Evans, or from Philo.
Brings up a 3rd and 6 for the Electrics.
A little loop motion. So 3rd down and 6 for the Electrics.
Preston so far on the night, 4 out of 10 for 29 yards.
He threw it 6 times last week against Tri-Valley. 6 times for the whole game. He was 3 of 6, 98 yards and a touchdown. One of those catches was for 72 yards. Another high snap handled by Preston. Altier with pressure. We're going to have a run. Barnhouse comes up, pops him, but that's a good strong run there by Talon Preston, who picks up the first down. Chains move.
Brings it out.
Clock at 2:06.
Brings up another first down for the Electrics from the 41.
Ball on the 42-yard line.
Well, he just lowered his head and ran right over top of John Glenn defender right there. Good effort from the quarterback, Preston.
So under 2 minutes, under a minute 50 now by the time they snap this ball. Philo with twins to the left, twins to the right. Across the middle, intended for Drew Wright and caught by Drew Wright. That's going to be another first down, and that's going to move the ball inside Muskie territory down to the 46-yard line.
First down, Electrics. 1st and 10 from the 46.
Drew Wright's a nice target player.
Yes, he is. I tell you what. Easy to find him out there for Preston.
Clock under a minute 30. Snap to Preston. Preston throws it, and it's going to be intercepted by Noah Winland. Winland's down to the 40. He's down to the 30. He's going to be taken out. He takes it back all the way back down to the 27-yard line. For a second there, I thought Winland was going to take it to the house. But what a shift in momentum where Philo, you think, is going to get this thing within 1 score. Noah Winland steps in front of the Talon Preston pass and takes it, returns all the way to the Philo 27-yard line. So now, all of a sudden, John Glenn's knocking on the door again.
He couldn't have timed that any better.
And I'll tell you one thing, John Glenn has a ton of interceptions this year. Owen Edwards in at quarterback, hands to Logan Gilcher. Gilcher not much doing. Progress is stopped, he picks up 2. Minute 9, clock ticking. John Glenn elects not to use timeout, quickly to the ball. Edwards, we got twins left, twins right. This is a run all the way by Owen Edwards. Edwards picks up about 3. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Clock below 50 seconds now. Maybe 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 for the Muskies.
Officials hurrying to get the ball to the left hash. Ball is on the 21-yard line. Same formation. Edwards takes the snap. Quick throw out to Johnson. Johnson with a nifty move makes 2 nifty moves, and he's going to get the first down. That's going to stop the clock. Ball is inside the 10-yard line, or close to the 10-yard line, and that's going to be a timeout by John Glenn. And we will take it with him. With 29.5 seconds left, John Glenn leads Philo 13-0. You're watching and listening to MVL Football on YRP TV and the Nash Icon. We'll be back in 30.
Hey, football fans, laborers. Local 530 in Zanesville, Ohio is cheering on all the local high school teams this year. Serving Muskingum, Perry, Noble, and Guernsey counties, Local 530 represents around 400 skilled men and women in the building and construction trades. They work with over 100 signatory contractors, providing committed and experienced laborers for building, heavy highway, and pipeline construction. For more information, give them a call at 740-453-1214. Good luck to all the teams from Laborers Local 530.
Back at John Glenn, 29.5 seconds left here in the second quarter. John Glenn marching.
Ball just inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal, with a chance to make this a 3-score game. Now, as we know that Nick Lazakis has the leg here also to knock in field goals. Owen Edwards lines up Reese Metzger in the backfield. Handoff to Glove, but he's going to pass it. And what a nice play design, intended for Reese Metzger in the end zone, but no dice.
Intended for Reese Metzger.
So there's a handoff to Glove. Glove threw the pass to Metzger in the right corner of the end zone, just a little bit out of the outstretched arms of Metzger. 24 seconds left. John Glenn 1 timeout. Second and goal. Tight trips to the right. Last time I've seen this play, they threw a corner route. They fake it. A couple corners going to the corner. Edwards is in a bunch of trouble. And 17 seconds in the talk, they're going to have to call timeouts. That's going to be, he's sacked. Clear back at the 19-yard line. So Coach Edwards is going to take a timeout, and we'll take 32. You are watching and listening to MBL Football on YRP TV and Nash Icon.
At 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it's for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company from Iowa to offer liability coverage to package with their Patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today, 740-305-5121. Follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
John Glenn, Mike Snively with Mike Plaziak. 15.3 seconds left here in the second quarter. Owen Edwards just took a sack. It's back the
Offense back up to the electric 19-yard line. John Glenn leads 13-0. And I believe that was John Glenn's last timeout of the half.
So you got to believe right here, they've got to throw this ball probably into the end zone.
No doubt.
And avoid a sack because they have no way to stop the clock in order to set up a field goal.
Edwards drops back, and he throws it down the middle of the field, but it's an incomplete pass.
Edwards' pass is incomplete.
His arm was hit. Yeah, the arm was hit just as he went to throw it. Couldn't get anything on it.
So Nick Lazakis is going to come on and try about a 36-yard field goal.
And we know he has the ability.
Yeah. Now, if you look at the flag, the wind is coming sort of at him, a little bit to the side. So this will be about just a little bit over a 35-yard field goal. He's made a 41-yard field goal to win the game at Maysville. Snap is up, kick is up. Looks like it has the distance. Bang!
Oh, no doubt.
Knocks it through.
That's a no-doubter.
So we'll call it a 36-yarder. For Will Nikolazakis, we'll keep it here. So with 5 seconds left, Will Nikolazakis knocks down a 36-yard field goal to make it a 16-0 score for John Glenn. Nikolazakis 4 for 4 on the year on field goals. and 32 of 33 point-after touchdowns. Nice addition.
That was a no-doubter right there.
Yeah.
He drilled that right down the middle.
That one.
With plenty to spare.
Kicking with confidence. So Nick Lazakis gets to come back out.
Back deep for the Electrics.
Kick it off.
Number 7, Aiden Mahon, and number 11, Seth
So back
Henning.
deep for the Electrics will be Aiden Mahon and Seth Henning. And there is a pretty good wind here.
There he is. It didn't affect him on that kick. See what he decides to do here with 5 seconds to go, where he decides to kick it deep and allow them a chance to return, or maybe try to squib it.
So 5 seconds left. Nick Lazakis kind of squibs it. Ball's going to be fumbled, but recovered. And that's going to leave 2.2 seconds. And that was number 22. That was Alex Evans.
Number 22, Alex Evans.
Who fielded that kickoff by Nick Lazakis. So 2 seconds. We've got time for a play here before half. John Glenn leads 16-0 over the Electrics. Halftime, we will have stats for you. We will go over some local area scores, talk about our sponsors, and some shout-outs. And it looks like Philo is just going to snap the ball and take a knee. Preston takes the ball, takes a knee, and both teams will head to the locker room. So that's going to bring us to halftime here in New Concord. John Glenn leads Philo 16-0. We will be back after a little bit of a break here. You are watching and listening to MVL Football on YRP TV and the Nash Icon.
Scoreboard show. Morgan leads Meadowbrook 42-0. Monroe Central holds a 13-0 lead over Frontier. Maysville holds a 35-0 lead over Riverview. It's Buckeye Trail 24, East Canton 0, Tri-Valley 14, Sheridan 10, West Muskingum 29, Coshocton 19, New Lexington 22, Crooksville 0, Miller 7, Bishop Rosecrans 0, Ridgewood 14, Claymont 7, Union Local 20, Belair 0, Shadyside 14, Bridgeport 7, and Barnesville 28, Shenandoah 6.
Hello, my name is Maxine Shriver. My dad is AVC's own Ray Shriver. Now.
Okay, I hear on the commercials sometimes. So 8 minutes, and then okay, why don't we do? How much time do you need, class?
8 good? Yeah, 8's good. 8's good. Yeah.
Let's do 8.
Marching band is under the direction of Aaron Browning, Assistant Director Amanda DeCoste, Percussion Instructor Zach Running, and Color Guard Instructor Mercy Robinson. Leading the band to the field is Commander Patrick
All right, sounds good.
Assisted by Corps Captain
Thank you.
Abby
Bye.
Cox. We ask that you refrain from audio and video recording during this performance.
We got a little more than 8.
Okay.
How are y'all doing? All aboard as the band kicks off this year's competition show with Hit the Road Jack by Ray Charles. What you say?
stats probably weren't too bad, were they, Plaz?
No.
Oh, we used to go do those Dover games. Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh. You remember they used to chuck it all over the place?
Oh, I know.
And the ball would go from there.
They have a bonfire, and I guess they're going to have like a cookout out at the park and things like that. So there's a lot going on. I know we're going to have the teams down on Monday for our Monday Night Sports Talk Show. We're going to have some fun with them and talk about the rivalry. But what people don't understand is Danville and East Knox are only 7 miles apart. They're so close to each other. And sometimes you're playing against your own family members, depending on, where they're living in the district. So it is an exciting time leading up to it. And obviously, there's a lot going to be on the line next week as well.
And while Danville holds a big edge in this series, they say
Okay.
I just want to do this.
That team that goes into it with a better record, they come out with a victory.
Danville is unbeaten going into tonight's game, a solid number 2 in Division 7, Region 25. How good are they?
I'll tell you what, in the spring, I guess it was, I actually had the running back at Danville out at my house to landscape my home. At the time, his family was moving, and he had gone to East Knox, and then he ended up, Cole DeLauder ended up at Danville, and he's had an excellent season. The Danville Blue Devils, more than likely going to be undefeated going into the ball game. And the East Knox Bulldogs, people don't understand, they have had a brutal schedule at the beginning of the year and played some really good teams, but they are at a situation where they only have the one loss in conference to Northmore, and so it could become a huge matchup next week. East Knox ends up knocking off Loudonville, then it ends up setting up a situation where East Knox could actually gain a tie in the conference. So it's going to be a big matchup next week.
Cancel? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Cody a number of times, and he was there, and they had a great senior class. And then it's almost like, okay, somebody else has to step up, almost like a deer in a headlight type thing last year. And it seems like they put it all together with Andy Beatty this year. Blake Elliott's been great, has nearly 1,000 yards rushing for them. And you talk about the ground game, you got 2 guys that are going to have over 1,000 yards rushing going into that ball game. It's going to be impressive for them. So, that turnaround for East Knox, it's a situation where they had to understand a little bit more about Friday Night Lights. And they're doing that, and could make for a great matchup next week.
Well, Tyler, really quickly about a couple of your other area teams. Mount Vernon's 2-6. They're going to need to win, obviously, and get some help. Centerburg, those 4-4, as is Highland. Fredericktown, same region there, 3-5. They need to win. But my question is, how much do schools like that embrace the expanded playoffs with the opportunity now to make it to Week 11?
I've asked a lot of questions about the expanded playoffs, and people kind of know my thoughts on it, Skip, with everything. But I'll tell you what, when you know that you are still in it at this part of the year, because a lot of the times, like Centerburg, they wouldn't really be in it if it was a regular year, and now they've got something to play for. And then the Highland Scots, they've got Dane Nauman. I'm sure you've heard about Dane Nauman. Mm-hmm. He broke the rushing record for Highland in his junior year. They've had a really tough schedule, but again, opportunities to better your seeding opportunities, and certainly great ball games ahead, too.
Tyler Mathias from our Mount Vernon affiliate. Tyler, we always love talking high school football with you. Enjoy the Devil Dog game next week, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Skip.
And we'll be back on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's player with heart, Ava Angel from Gallia Academy High School, for her commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
I just love softball because, I just get to spend time with all of my friends and make new friends with my travel team and everything, and just building new bonds with each other and building a friendship.
Ava likes trying new things, like she'll do in a couple of years when she plays softball in college. She also likes expanding her horizons in Future Farmers of America.
They got me into soil judging, so that's just really different for me from where I'm from, the livestock and equine world. Just soil is just very different.
These new skills broaden her ability on the family farm.
Honestly, I just love agriculture, and like I always grew up on a farm. The love that the people in this industry have for like their animals, they all just have like a really strong passion for it.
At Beck's, we are and will remain farmers at heart.
This is ONN.
All right, thanks once again to Tyler Mathias for coming on to tell us about next week's annual Devil Dog game in Knox County. Enjoy the second half of your ball game. I'm Skip Mossick on the Ohio News Network.
This has been the Ohio Education Association Tonight in High School Football. Presented by Beck's Hybrids and by Ohio for Responsible Gambling from the Ohio News Network.
Back to New Contours, Mike Snively with Mike Flasiak. Halftime where the John Glenn Muskies lead the Philo Electric 16-0 in MBL action tonight. This game has huge playoff implications for both teams. A recap of the scoring. John Glenn scored first with 9:18 left in the first quarter as Cameron Barnhouse picked up a 37-yard fumble and returned it to the house. The PAT was no good. In fact, that was the first missed point-after touchdown by Will Nikolazakis on the season. In the second quarter, the very first play of the second quarter, Noah Winland, who has been the fourth quarterback we've seen tonight for the Muskies, on 4th and goal from the 2-yard line, was able to run in a 2-yard run. The PAT by Nikolazakis was good. That gave John Glenn a 13-0 lead over Philo. And right at the end of the half, Will Nikolazakis knocked in his 4th field goal of the year, 4 of 4 on the year for field goals.
From 36 yards, and that gives John Glenn a 16-0 lead here in New Concord. So Plaz, you know, we talked earlier, Philo's made a lot of mistakes and had some bad penalties and bad situations, and it's just not been their night so far.
You're right. They've been their worst enemy so far. Every time they get maybe a little bit of a drive going, they'll have a penalty. They've turned the ball over 3 times here in the first half. 2 fumbles. Of course, one of those fumbles was returned 37 yards for a touchdown, and another one they had a nice drive going and fumbled again. And then the one interception when it seemed like they were getting some momentum going. A nice job there by the defensive back Noah Winland, anticipating that pass, kind of setting it up, making it look like the receiver was open. And I'm like you, I thought he was going to take that all the way to the house. But
I was going to say the only saving grace in that was, you know, they could have got it to a 1-score game, but they did hold John Glenn to a field goal, and still it's 16-0. Still a 2-possession game, a tougher 2-possession game. But if they score a touchdown on that possession, it's a 3-score game. And with the way this John Glenn defense is playing, that could have been lights out.
I tell you what, they have done a good job dominating dominating the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively. I've got Philo only for 63 total yards here in the first half.
63 total yards. Yeah. This is a team that's averaging 214, so they are quite a bit below their average. What other stats you got there, Plaz?
Rushing for John Glenn in the first half, they rushed the ball 23 times for 93 yards. Lincoln Gilcher, the leading ball carrier for the Little Muskies, 5 carries, 34 yards. Through the airways, they had a variety of quarterbacks in the first half. Altogether, they were 3 out of 10, 26 yards. Jake Johnson, the leading receiver, who was also one of the quarterbacks.
Yes.
2 receptions, 23 yards. I had them charted for 8 first downs. They were penalized 3 times for 30 yards, and again, they had 127 total yards, which is nothing to really brag about, but they've made the most of what they've been able to gain. And they did actually have 1 turnover in the first half, which is only their 9th on the season. They turned the ball over on a fumble. Philo on the other side only rushed the ball 8 times, 23 yards. Talon Preston, the quarterback, 4 carries, 13 yards, the leading ground gainer for the Electrics. Through the airways, Preston was 5 out of 12, 40 yards, and 1 interception. Drew Wright, the leading receiver, I tell you, he's a good-looking kid.
He is.
3 receptions, 35 yards from his tight end spot. 4 first downs for the Electrics. They were penalized 4 times, 45 yards, and again, the 3 turnovers, huge for the Electrics in the first half.
And Philo, I believe, 3 of those were personal fouls, I believe.
They were.
So, the major infraction in variety. So, we're watching the John Glenn band here perform at halftime. We still have about 9 minutes before we're going to begin the second half. We're going to take another break, and then we will be back with some scores around the area. You are listening and watching NBL football on YRP TV and Nash Icon.
This is a City Tire Pro scoreboard show. Morgan leads Meadowbrook 42-0. Monroe Central holds a 13-0 lead over Frontier. Maysville holds a 35-0 lead over Riverview. It's Buckeye Trail 24, East Canton 0, Tri-Valley 14, Sheridan 10, West Muskingum 29, Coshocton 19, New Lexington 22, Crooksville 0, Miller 7, Bishop Rosecrans 0, Ridgewood 14, Claymont 7, Union Local 20, Belair 0, Shadyside 14, Bridgeport 7, and Barnesville 28, Shenandoah 6.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford.
Okay, sounds good. Bye. Got about 2 minutes, class.
Okay.
We'll do Thunderstruck here. Remember AC/DC?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I want to look for a song to play. See if we can bring it back with a song. That's from Mama.
55. Wow. That's the score that I had, 55-6.
Wow.
Mama's still teaching at Meadowbrook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now he's living like up in Reynoldsburg, Pickerington.
Hi, Clark. Good. How are you? Taking over here. Ten.
Back to New Concord, John Glenn High School. Mike Snivel and Mike Clausen are active. John Glenn Muskies lead the Philo Electric in week 9, 16-0. talking about the schools around the area. What do we have? What's the schools looking like?
We'll take a look at some other MVL scores here in the big school division. No surprise, Maysville leads Riverview 49-0, and these are pretty much all halftime scores.
The other really big school game tonight is taking place up in Thornville after an early 10-0 lead by Sheridan. The Tri-Valley Scotties have come back and lead at halftime 14-10.
Wow.
Small school games tonight. New Lex leads Crooksville 28-0. And it kind of a surprise to me anyway. West Muskingum was only leading Coshocton 29-26.
Now that is a surprise.
That's a big surprise. And also small school Morgan, another surprise I think for both of us, with a big lead over Meadowbrook at the half, 55-6.
Well, Coshocton is surprising to me because they started off 0-6, and if you looked at their first 6 games, you thought, whoa, that's pretty good competition, and they played everybody pretty tight. Now, with that West Muskingum score, I mean, West Muskingum, we talked about them before the game, and we thought they would hang with Sheridan, they would hang with Tri-Valley, but that is kind of surprising. And, you know, sometimes teams struggle with the wing tee.
They do. And Coshocton is a master at running the wing tee. I mean, that goes back to John Kelly.
Yeah.
Kind of brought the wing tee to Coshocton years ago, followed up by Wade Lucas and Marty Argenbright, amongst others. And it's a tough defense.
It is.
Because you only see it maybe once at most all year long. And it's completely different, something you're not used to seeing. So kind of a surprise in the making up at Coshocton tonight. A team we thought that would be a good matchup for West End if it happens later in the playoffs. The Barnesville Shamrocks are on about a 25 regular season game winning streak. Leads Shenandoah tonight 34-6. Some other local scores. The Zanesville Blue Devils trail Watkins Memorial 20-0. Locally, Beaver Local leads over Cambridge 42-7 at the half. Big game down St. Clairsville tonight. Local rivals Wheeling Park with an early 14-7 lead on the Red Devils. Big game going on in New Philly tonight. I think both of these teams are Division III, if I'm not mistaken. West Holmes with a 3-0 lead on New Philly at the half.
Wow.
So some serious defense being played.
Stalemate up there.
And Mike, a score that's very near and dear to you and me. This comes to your father-in-law and my ex-head coach, the Monroe Central Seminoles, 20-0 lead on Frontier tonight. And that's a big reunion weekend in Woodsfield. The teams of 73, 83, and 93 all were undefeated teams under Coach Jaser Costa, and they're having a big reunion in Woodsfield tonight.
Well, and you were a quarterback on one of those teams I know of, and you're exactly correct. Every year of the threes, they went undefeated, and Coach Costa, obviously, Joe, if you're listening out there, we send you our well wishes. I know you're after the sideline injury there a few weeks ago, you're kind of
we sure wish him the best.
Wish you the best, and
I tell you what, he's a tough cookie.
Yeah, he'll
get through this.
Get through there, and best wishes from obviously the two mics up here. So, Plaz, we're going to keep it here. We have about a minute and a half before we tip this thing off.
It's going to be time for tip-offs before long, Mike.
Before we kick this thing off, yes. I guess you could tip a football.
Yeah.
But we kind of expected this. Actually, they're throwing the ball more than I thought, both teams. And John Glenn's mixing it up with 4 different quarterbacks we've seen. And the starting quarterback, who's been Noah Whelan all year, has seen the least time.
Exactly.
And Talon Preston, we thought, could run the ball, but there's just nothing doing that. John Glenn defense has been stout up front, and the running game has been non-existent for Philo. They have hit a couple receivers down the field. Drew Wright, heck, he looks like a tight end college prospect. The way he's just a big kid, runs down the middle of the field. He's a good target. But Philo right now, they're going to have they've got a tall mountain ahead in this second half if they want to overcome this John Glenn lead. You talked about St. Clairsville. That's possibly, if Philo does make the playoffs, that's possibly one of Philo's opponents. Could be week 1 in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think St. Clairsville went into tonight, I believe they were ranked,
they were fourth,
yes, in Region 4.
Top 4 in that region were Sheridan, Steubenville, Bishop Hartley, and St. Clairsville. And then the top 4 in the Division 3 Region 11 were Watterson, London, Bloom Carroll, and Jackson. Bloom Carroll, I believe, lost in the state championship last year. That's one of those places up around Columbus that just keeps booming and getting bigger.
Really, yeah, and they've been very solid with their football program here recently.
They have been. That's a team that John Glenn's played and had success with in the playoffs before. They did play them, I believe, last year. I think their first couple games were...
You know, Mike, it's very unfortunate for these little Muskies this year to be in Division 3. I mean, they are one of the smallest schools, I believe, in the state of Ohio that's a Division 3 school.
And Division 1 in golf.
Division 1 in golf. And they had a very respectable showing the other day. Finished 7th in the district with all the big schools from Columbus.
So Nick Lazakis kicks this thing off. It's going to be handled by Seth Henning. Henning across the 20. He's got some room. And he's going to be taken down quickly there at the 35-yard line by Cameron Barnhouse and Cannon Fox. And it looks like Henning might be down. And a nice clean hit there by Barnhouse and Fox, but they converged on Henning at the same time. It looks like he's down in a lot of pain, grimacing.
There's quite a collision right there.
And it looks like they're looking, okay, I can't tell, there's too many people surrounding him, but he did not, he is still moving. Coach Dirk Linscomb down on one knee talking to the young man. $16-0. The Muskies lead the Electrics here. Week 9 MVL action here. And we're going to step away for 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to MVL Football on YRP TV and Nash Icon.
Hey, football fans, laborers. Local 530 in Zanesville, Ohio is cheering on all the local high school teams this year. Serving Muskingum, Perry, Noble, and Guernsey counties, Local 530 represents around 400 skilled men and women in the building and construction trades. They work with over 100 signatory contractors, providing committed and experienced laborers for building, heavy highway, and pipeline construction. For more information, give them a call at 740-453-1214. Good luck to all the teams from Laborers Local 530.
Concord, good news. Seth Henning able to walk out under his own strength. Back to live action here. Running back number 13 that's Talon Bailey, picks up a gain of just about 19 yards on the first play of the second half for the Electrics. So the Electrics need some momentum, and that may be a boost to their confidence there. Takes it across into Muskie territory down to the 47-yard line.
Nice hole open up there by the left side of the Electrics offensive line.
Talon Bailey had 88 yards last week against Tri-Valley. Trip receivers to the right. Hand off to Bailey again, and he gets blown up by Alex Altier. Alex Altier, just a sophomore, 6'1", 265. And he wasn't having any of that.
Altier met him before he had a chance to get started.
So that's going to be 2nd and 10, ball at the Muskie 47-yard line. Little miscommunication here. Philo players right now not knowing quite what the play is. Now they get it in. So pro formation. Jump pass, and pass was intended for right, and that was tipped by Christopher Wise.
Pass was intended for
Right, the 6'3" tight end, had a couple words to say to the 5'8" Christopher Wise. Both were separated. Game's been a little chippy.
From the opening kickoff.
It's been a little bit chippy.
Preston kind of tried the old school jump pass there.
Yeah.
To right.
Might have been an RPO. John Glenn in their 3-4 defense, able to get pressure with 3 down linemen. That's always a plus. So Preston's back deep, and Barnhouse gets heat on him. Jailbreak screen to number 11, and he's going to be close to a first down. That's Seth Henning, and I think that might be enough for the first down. Good play call there by Coach Linscomb. It's going to be close. Let's see what they decide here. They're going to call officials timeout. They're going to measure this thing. But it's really close. That was a good call because Barnhouse was coming off of the edge, and it was man-to-man coverage on the left side of the secondary there by John Glenn. That's going to be a first down. Philo's second first down of the second half. They are on the move.
Great job by Preston getting that ball off before he got sacked.
You know, looking ahead here, Plaz, let's say Philo does score. You almost have to go for 2 to keep it, you know, at a one-score game. So that extra point conversion is going to be a big play if Philo does score here. Philo with 2 backs in the backfield. High snap, handoff to Talon Bailey. And Bailey doesn't have much going on up the middle. Those A and B gaps have not been good to Philo tonight. He picks up about 1.5.
No, what little success they've had running the football pretty much has been off tackle or just a little bit wider.
It looks like 64, that's Tanner Whiteman, slow to get up, and he's going to trot off the field. They're going to bring in Cayenne Barton, just a sophomore, 5'9", 230.
He's limping off there. Something wrong with that, either the right ankle or the right knee.
And that's a big injury there because Whiteman's been a stud nose guard for the John Glenn Muskies this year. So 2nd and 9, ball at the Muskie 36-yard line. 2 backs again in the backfield for the Electrics. Snap out of the pistol, speed option, and we got a fumble. And I believe, well, let's see. It was a speed option to the left. And Philo comes up with that ball, and that's huge.
I was like everybody else up there in the press box. Everybody thought that John Glenn had come up with that football, but Bailey found a way to get it back.
And that's going to be 3rd and about 18 for the Philo Electrics. And the pitch was just out of the outstretched arms of the tailback.
He had to pitch it, I think, a little quicker than what he wanted to.
Anticipated. So the 2 Talons in the backfield. Preston takes the snap, drops back, rolls to his right, throws a lob pass, which is complete to number 11, but he is met really quick by number 5, Noah Winland. And that's going to bring up 4th down and about 8, maybe 9. And I think Philo has to go. They're inside the 40-yard line, at the 35 to be exact. And they trail by 2 scores. So 4th and 8, Philo stays on the field, the offense.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way possible they can afford to not go for this here in this situation.
So huge play here early in the second half. 8:04 and ticking here in New Concord. John Glenn leads 16-0. Preston back deep. Screen pass wide open is number 13. And this is going to go to the house. That's going to be a 35-yard touchdown pass to Talon Bailey out of the backfield. So Talon Preston hits Talon Bailey out of the backfield on a big 4th and 8 play to cut the lead to 16-6. Now, as we mentioned earlier in this drive, Philo's probably going to have to go for 2 just to keep this at a 1-score game. So this is a very important point after touchdown. We saw a game earlier this year in Plaza, I believe you had it, where a point after touchdown was missed or blocked.
It was blocked,
by
actually,
John
yes.
Glenn that helped John Glenn beat New Lexington 14-13.
What a great call there by Coach Lincecum and his staff. They knew that John Glenn would be coming with pressure, allowed that to come through, and they couldn't have set that screen up any better than what they did.
So under center is press. It's going to be a sweep, and it's going to be Bailey, and nothing is doing. They just went under center with the old toss sweep, and John Glenn knocked that down for a loss. Christopher Wise in there, big stop for the Muskies. So with 7:46 left here in the third quarter, John Glenn leads Philo 16-6. You are watching and listening to MVL Football, YRP TV, and Nash Icon. We'll be back in 30. Back at John Glenn.
Back deep for the Muskies.
Muskies lead Electric 16-6. But a big 35-yard touchdown pass from Talon Preston to Talon Bailey on 4th and 9 cuts the lead to 10. Extra point no good, and very important because that keeps it a two-score game. 31, Braden Payton kicks off, fielded by Ryder Rock. Ryder Rock gets it out past the 30, almost to the 35-yard line. So a good return there by the John Glenn Muskies. This will be their first possession of the second half.
And we'll see who they come out with to start at the quarterback position to start the second half. We saw 4 different guys there at that position in the first half.
Got a 1-4 shot. I see Johnson's in the huddle. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be the quarterback.
No, because he's their top receiver. I think it's going to be Johnson to start with, yes.
Yep, going to be Johnson to start. Lincoln Gilcher, the back. And that's who's going to get the ball. Lincoln Gilcher's got a hole. He's got 10, 15, 20. 30-yard gain there for Lincoln Gilcher. And that's exactly what the John Glenn offense wanted to do after that Philo touchdown. So Gilcher takes it down to the Electric's 34-yard line. Clock at 7:31 here in the third quarter. Johnson with the sidecar, Gilcher. Gilcher, after a long run, takes another run, and he's going to have a first down again, and he's down inside the 15 this time. Almost broke it. So 2 big plays for Gilcher.
Takes it down into the 15.
That might put him over 100, Plaz. Close to it.
Brings up a first and 10.
I've got him 7 carries now for 86 yards.
86 yards. He's getting close. So 2 big plays here for John Glenn on their initial drive of the second half. Ball on the 15-yard line of the Electrics. This time Ryder Rock takes the rock, and he gets it down inside the 5-yard line, and that's going to be a first and goal situation down to the 4-yard line. And we have several players down on the field right now, and it looks like they are both Electrics. So we're going to take a break. John Glenn leads Philo 16-6 with 7:16 left in the third quarter. You're watching and listening to MVL Football on YRP TV and the Nash Icon. We'll be back in 60.
People's Bank's vision is to be the best community bank in America. People's Bank provides local, hometown relationship-based banking with 132 full-service branches for all of your financial needs. As your community bank, People's Bank strives to make our communities a better place to live, work, and play. We would love a chance to earn your business. People's Bank, working together, building success. Member FDIC.
Hey, football fans, laborers. Local 530 in Zanesville, Ohio is cheering on all the local high school teams this year. Serving Muskingum, Perry, Noble, and Guernsey counties, Local 530 represents around 400 skilled men and women in the building and construction trades. They work with over 100 signatory contractors, providing committed and experienced laborers for building, heavy highway, and pipeline construction. For more information, give them a call at 740-453-1214. Good luck to all the teams from Laborers Local 530.
Back here live in New Concord, Mike Snivel with Mike Blazjak. We have 2 injured Philo Electric players on this play after a big first down by Ryder Rock.
And both of them seem to be leg injured.
Yes, and I believe this might be, I'm trying to get a number. The number right now
is that Aspen Schultz? Coming right here. 58 maybe? 58 is Tyler Booker.
I think it's 58, and then we have 34. Braden Bleakney, who's been a good defensive player for Philo. Both guys came off under their own power, but walking very, very gingerly. And let's hope these 2 guys are okay. Just a freak accident. You saw 2 guys for Philo down at the same time.
Within a yard apart of each other. So they are off the field safely. We're back to action. John Glenn's going to have the ball at the 4-yard line of the Electrics. Jake Johnson, quarterback. Lincoln Gilcher, low snap. Gilcher's going to be stuffed, but boy, he gets away. And that's a great play by Lincoln Gilcher just to get back to the line of scrimmage because he had no chance right off the bat.
Bernard on tackle.
May have lost a yard.
And we've got another player down on the field. Another Electric.
And that is going to be number 17. That's Braden Bernard this time. And he's going to sit there, and we will take a break. You're watching and listening to NBL Football, YRP-TV, and the Nash Icon. We'll be back in 30.
The high school and middle school cross-country teams will be competing in the NBL championships tomorrow morning in Crooksville, with the first race beginning at 10 a.m. Varsity girls soccer will be hosting Tuskegee Valley tomorrow starting at noon. The 8th grade volleyball team will be playing in the 8th grade NBL tournament tomorrow at Coshocton, and they will play the winner of Maysville and Sheridan at 12:45 p.m. The 7th grade volleyball team will be playing in the 7th grade NBL
Braden Bleakney
tomorrow at Tri-Valley.
walking off under his own power.
Maysville at 10:15.
That's the 3rd injured Philo Electric in the last 2 plays. And Philo right now may be down to a mash unit here on this defensive stand where John Glenn has the ball at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal, this time Winland in the quarterback, Altier in the backfield. And he may have moved early.
Yes, he did.
Alex Altier moved early. So that's going to be an illegal procedure against John Glenn. That's going to bump it back to about the 9.
4 penalties for 35 yards against the Little Muskies so far here tonight. You could just see Altier was just kind of leaning. He couldn't
get that big body stopped. Same formation though. Ball at the 9, 2nd and goal from the 9. Winland gets inside the 5, and he's going to walk in. He's going to walk in from 9 yards out. And that could be, as you mentioned earlier, Plaz, that could be our drive of the game. Noah Winland with a 9-yard touchdown run. That's going to give the Muskies a 22-6 lead, and this is a huge extra point because this makes it a 3-score game.
What a response, though, by the Little Muskies to the score that the Philo just put on the board at the 7:46 mark.
Yeah, that was a huge, huge play. Kick is up. Kick is good. by Will Nicolazakis. So with 6:36 left here in the third, John Glenn leads Philo 23-6. You're watching and listening to NBL football on YRP TV and Nash Icon. We'll be back in 30. Back in New Concord, Mike Snidely with Mike Plaziak. 6:36 here in the third quarter. John Glenn with a statement drive as Noah Windland punches it in from 9 yards out to give the Muskies a 17-point lead, a 3-score lead over the Philo Electrics.
Mike, that was an impressive drive there by the little Muskies. Only took them, I believe, 5 plays in a minute, 10 seconds off the clock to go 70 yards.
And with a penalty.
Yes.
With a penalty. Nicolazakis kicks it off, and it's going to be fielded by Seth Henning. At around the 10, he gets it out past the 25, and he's going to be taken down by Andrew Glob at the 27-yard line. That's a name. Those are two names we've been calling all year on special teams and on defense are Cameron Barnhouse and Andrew Glob.
Glob, I believe the game I had earlier against New Lexi had 3 interceptions and dropped another one.
He has 7 on the year. Most teams don't get 7 interceptions. He has 7 himself.
Seems to have a nose for the football.
Yes, he does. So Philo trots out offensively. Talon Preston at the quarterback. Takes the snap. Hands it to Talon Bailey. And he's going to lose yardage on that play.
Bailey on the carry.
He's going to be taken down by number 52. That's Charlie Cameron.
Charlie Cameron.
A 5'10", 160-pound freshman Charlie Cameron. As mentioned earlier, starting linebacker Bronson Bendel on crutches on the sideline, and that can't be good news for John Glenn. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 12 for Philo. And Drew Wright thought the count was on 1. It might have been on 2, and he was 5 yards down the field. I'll give him credit. He fired off the ball.
He was open, too.
He was open. Maybe it was the first sound he thought it was on.
2nd and 17.
So that's going to bring up 2nd and 17. Ball at the, just past the Electric's own 20-yard line. Preston giving signals to Bailey. And Preston rolls out. He's going to hit Henning. Gets out to about the 25-yard line in a quick pass. Not a whole lot going on there. Christopher Wise comes up big from his corner spot. Safety spot, I should say.
3rd and 13.
And Philo backed up again, 3rd and 13. Clock rolling below 5 minutes.
Good thing Wise makes that tackle because there's nobody beyond him.
I thought the same thing, Plaz. I thought if he gets by this one, he's going to the house.
Sure tackle made there by Wise in the open field.
So Twins left, Twins right, and Preston's under a lot of heat. Altier just missed him. And that's going to be picked off by guess who? Andrew Glob.
We just talked about him. There he was, Johnny on the spot.
He read that thing like a book. That gives him his 8th interception on the year. Might want to start looking into the John Glenn record books, what the record is for interceptions in a season.
31-yard line.
So that's going to give John Glenn the ball at the Electric's 31-yard line.
2nd interception of the night for Preston.
Glob caught that thing on a dead run, too.
He did.
Got his feet in bounds. Gives John Glenn another shot to extend their lead. 4:28 in the third quarter. Two backs in the backfield, Rock and Gilcher. Quarterback Owen Edwards, hand off to Rock. And we may see a lot of this the rest of the way out.
I would be surprised if they put the ball in the air with a 17-point lead. Like you said, a 3-possession game right now.
Yeah, Ryder Rock picked up 7 on that carry. Quickly to the line. Not a lot of height in the backfield, but they can hide really well. Rock busts through the line. He picks up 5, and we got a melee on the sideline. Well, that was just a pancake block, I believe, by number 56. That was Clay Mathers. Just drove his man out of bounds. Clay Mathers may be a candidate for that Guernsey Muskingum lineman of the game. This time, Owen Edwards calls his own number, and he's still pushing forward. He's going to pick up about 5.
Jacob Savage on the stop for the Electrics.
So that's going to be 2nd and 6.
Well, I don't know what adjustments they made at halftime, Mike, but the Little Muskies have come out with a lot of success running the football here in the second half.
You're exactly right. Pitch out to Gilcher. Gilcher may have picked up 1, may have picked up 2. Now, I will say this. There is some blocking to the whistle by both teams. Blocking by the Muskies, and might have a flag here.
I think I see one there. Face mask.
And it is a face mask. That's going to give the Muskies another first down. That's going to move it inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Owen Edwards in a quarterback. 2 sidecars to the left this time. This could be a run all the way for Edwards to the left. And that's exactly what they do. Edwards has a little bit of room. He's down to the end zone. Touchdown. Owen Edwards, 9-yard touchdown by the sophomore Owen Edwards to give John Glenn a 29-6 lead over the Philo Electrics. And right now, John Glenn is just out-muscling the Philo Electric defense. Nick Lazakis, the left footer, lines it up. Hold by Edwards. Good snap, good hold, good kick. So, with 3:01 left in the third quarter, John Glenn leads Philo 30-6. You're watching and listening to MDL Football, YRP TV, and the Nash Icon. We'll be back in 30. Back at John Glenn, Mike and Mike duo of Snively and Plaziak. John Glenn leads Philo 30-6. John Glenn has taken over the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. Nick Lazakis tees it up from the right hash. Left footer kicks it down to Henning. Picks it up at the 9. He crosses the 20. He's got a lane. And he is going to go to the house. That's going to be a 92-yard touchdown run. 92-yard touchdown kickoff return by Seth Henning. And Henning comes up wobbly after this run. And that's going to cut the lead to 30-12 with 2:48 here in the third quarter. Henning going to get carried off by his teammate. And now Henning didn't want the help, but now he's going to take the help off the field. But Henning just showed a lot of speed there, but a nice lane there he had on the kickoff return, and he was able to take it 92 yards.
Mike, he almost returned the last kickoff also. I tell you what, he's a gutsy performer back there. He had a head of steam going.
He did. Never slowed down. He had a 72-yard touchdown last week at Tri-Valley. So big play player, Seth Henning. So Philo's going to come out, try to cut this thing to a 2-score lead. It's an 18-point lead right now. 30-12. Talon Preston out of the gun. Talon Bailey was running back. It's going to be a reverse. And John Glenn's got it stuffed really well by Cameron Barnhouse. Cameron Barnhouse read that thing and took down number 7, Aiden Mahon, by the shirt, and that was actually a loss of about 7 on that extra point. So that, Plaz, that's another big 2-point stop by John Glenn. Keeps it at a 3-score game, and you got to be thinking, we'll leave it here, you got to be thinking Philo may be, the way the John Glenn offense is moving, they may be onside kicking here.
Very possibly. I was just thinking the same thing. Be a great time for one. But I'm sure Coach Edwards has reminded his kickoff return team to be looking for the same thing.
Well, I will say this. I see 5 guys on the front line. They all have non-lineman numbers. So that's usually a good sign.
And I've not paid attention. I don't know. Maybe that's been the case all night long.
It could be.
That could be his philosophy.
So Braden Payton to tee it up for the Electrics. 2:48 left. John Glenn leads by 18 in the third quarter. Payton kicks it deep. A good kick. It's going to be fielded by Andrew Glob at the 6. Gets it across the 20 to the 25. And a nice return out to the 35-yard line by Andrew Glob.
On the return, brings it out to about the 35-yard line.
So 30-12. John Glenn over Philo. John Glenn will be heading from left to right on your radio dial. I want to send a shout out to our board operator Ray Shriver back at the station. Cam Summers, running the digital media class from Mideast, has his crew of Carson Rowland from John Glenn and Cameron Love from West Muskingum here tonight, bringing you the action on YRP TV. 2 backs in the backfield. Jake Johnson, the quarterback. Low snap handled. Gives it to Ryder Rock. Rock picks up about 9 on the play.
Brings it out to the 45.
So that's going to bring up 2nd and 1. Ball's going to be at the John Glenn 45-yard line.
Rock has some quickness. He hits that hole in a hurry.
They've got a couple guys they can go to. Obviously Gilcher and then Rock and Metzger. Now they come at you with 4 different quarterback looks.
Mike, a couple interesting score updates. Tri-Valley has regained the lead over Sheridan 21-17, and it continues to be a dogfight up in Coshocton. West End with a 43-40 lead over the Redskins.
Wow. Johnson calls his own number here on the fake, and he's going to lose yardage, and that's going to bring up third. He's going to lose 1. So that's going to bring up 3rd and about 2. And we got another Philo player down. That's number 56, Ashton Schultz. And he's holding that knee. John Glenn leads Philo 30-12. You're watching and listening to MVL football on YRP TV and Nash Icon. We'll be back in 30.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio, Patrons Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it's for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company from Iowa to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons' Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today, 740-305-5121. Follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Back at John Glenn.
Injured Philo player is Ashton Schultz. And he is getting up, and several personnel from the Philo staff are out there to help him.
Looks like another leg injury.
Yeah, and I tell you, they've been getting beat up and had some bad luck with the injury bug here in the second half. Ashton Schultz, one of our players we're looking at, and a candidate for the Guernsey-Muskingum Electric Power lineman of the game. He's going to take 2 staff members from Philo to get him off the field, getting off the field gingerly. And you know another thing too, Plaz, John Glenn's picking up chunks of yards. Well, you just wonder how many starters are left after the injury bug has hit them here in the second half.
It's good to see Braden Bernard back on the field for the Electrics. He came off injured there in a previous possession.
Yes. And even Seth Henning, who had the long touchdown kickoff return, you know, he was injured a little bit, but he's back on the field.
He still seems to be favored that leg just a little bit.
So Jake Johnson takes a snap, throws a quick pass, and that's out to Joey Wentland, number 9.
Jake Johnson's pass is complete.
And I believe that's Wentland's.
Good for a Muskie, first down.
Second catch tonight.
Second tonight, yeah.
First and 10 Muskies from the 49.
So he has 15 on the year, 115 yards. Clock running below a minute 15 now. In the third quarter, John Glenn leads 30-12. Mike Snively, Mike Plaziak here in New Concord. Hand off to Gilcher. Gilcher's got a lot of room, and he picks up 13. Takes it into Philo territory. Chains moving. And that was number 2, Talon Preston, the quarterback, who also doubles up and plays free safety for this Electric Ball Club.
Looks like we've got Drew Wright coming off the field for the Electrics, kind of holding that left arm a little bit, not moving it at all. He's in some pain.
That's going to bring in Mason Runkle. John Glenn Johnson takes it, hands it to Gilcher. Gilcher's got 5, 10, 15, 20, 27-yard pickup. And he's going to be tackled at about the 12, and there are at least 2 Philo guys down. One guy gets up in number 70. This time it's Damon Myers is on the field for Philo. And he's laying flat, and we're going to take a break. So John Glenn leads Philo 30-12. You are watching and listening to MBL football on YRP TV and the Nash Icon. We'll be back in 30.
This is a City Tire Pro scoreboard show. Barnesville leads Shenandoah 37-12. Monroe Central leads Frontier 41-0. Maysville leads Riverview 56-0. West Muskingum leads Coshocton 43-32. Newcomerstown leads Strasburg 28-12. John Glenn leads Philo 30-12. Beaver Local leads Cambridge 55-14. Miller leads Bishop Rosecrans 35-13. And Ridgewood leads Claymont 32-7.
Could be a case of getting the wind knocked out of him. But, you know, this is, you gotta feel bad for Philo now.
It's like every player, every other play, they're getting a defensive player injured.
I don't know that I've ever seen a situation like this where I've seen so many guys go down so close to each other.
Maybe some cramping early in the season when it's hot. But
you wouldn't think so at this point.
Yeah, I don't think it's cramps, but there's just the injury bug is hitting the Philo Electrics hard right now. Meyer seems to be communicating with the staff. They're going to help him to his feet. He's going to walk off, holding around his stomach area. So still 24 seconds left here in the third quarter. John Glenn with the ball on the 14-yard line of the Electrics. the 13-yard line of the Electrics. So the John Glenn offense trots back out on the field. Jake Johnson at quarterback. Gilcher, the left running back. Rock to the right. Gilcher takes the snap. Hands it to Rock. Rock's inside the 10. And he's going to pick up about 5. And that's going to end the third quarter here in New Concord. John Glenn looking like they're going to try to run another play before the end of the third quarter. And they do. Johnson hands off to Rock. Rock gets it to about the 5. That's going to bring up third down, but that will end the third quarter. So at the end of the third quarter here at John Glenn High School, John Glenn leads Philo 30-12. You're watching and listening to MBL football on YRP TV and Nash Icon. We'll be back in 60.
People's Bank's vision is to be the best community bank in America. People's Bank provides local, hometown relationship-based banking with 132 full-service branches for all of your financial needs. As your community bank, People's Bank strives to make our communities a better place to live, work, and play. We would love a chance to earn your business. People's Bank, working together, building success. Member FDIC.
This is a City Tire Pro scoreboard show. Barnesville leads Shenandoah 37-12. Monroe Central leads Frontier 41-0. Maysville leads Riverview 56-0. West Muskingum leads Coshocton 43-32. Newcomerstown leads Strasburg 28-12. John Glenn leads Philo 30-12. Beaver Local leads Cambridge 55-14. Miller leads Bishop Rosecrans 35-13. And Ridgewood leads Claymont 32-7.
Back here at John Glenn. MBL contest here between the Muskies and the Electrics. John Glenn leads Philo 30-12. Beginning the fourth quarter here in what has been an injury-riddled third quarter for the Electrics.
And I see Drew Wright back on the field too for the Electrics here at his defensive end position.
So John Glenn's going to have it 3rd down and 4 from about the 7-yard line. Johnson hands off to Rock, and Rock's pushing, shoving, and gets it down inside the 5, and it's going to be close to a first down. Should be about the 3-yard line, and that's about where they needed to get to. And they're going to bring the chains all the way across here on the first play of the fourth quarter.
Going to be an official's measurement.
Mike, in a game we thought would be fast-moving tonight, it's been anything but that.
Yes, we thought this one could be over in 2 hours, but we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes, and we're just starting the fourth quarter. So the chain crew's got to bring it all the way across the field. It's going to be close. It's either going to be 1st and goal or 4th and inches for John Glenn. And it's a first down, so that's going to bring up 1st and goal for the Muskies.
1st and goal, Muskies.
Who lead by 18 points.
10 carries for 56 yards tonight for the junior Ryder Rock. And also Lincoln Gilcher, another junior, has gone over the 100-yard mark. 10 carries, 126 yards, and that's after he only had 6 yards after his first 2 carries.
Well, I would say the rushing stats for John Glenn really picked up in that third quarter.
I said I don't know what adjustments the coaches made at halftime, but, man, that running attack has really come to life here in the second half.
It's been inside the tackles.
Nothing fancy.
No, nothing fancy. So once again, 2 running backs in the backfield. Johnson, the quarterback, takes a snap, hands it to Rock. Rock is met real quickly at the line by number 59. That was Trace LaFollette, just a freshman, 6'2", 198 pounds.
LaFollette on stop for the Electrics.
So LaFollette, one of the...
He could put that on a training film. That's the way it's supposed to be done.
That's exactly how you do it. Hand off again to Rock. Rock's inside the 2. He's close. Let's see what the official signals. And they have some chain problems.
I'd say it looks like yes.
It looks like the chain got jammed up on that tackle over there.
So now we're going to take another delay and work on the chain.
So I assume, Plaz, you know that Ohio State is playing tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, they're taking on the Purdue Boilermakers, and I guess my question is, do you have the Peacock Network?
No, and I'm not going to purchase it either.
I mean, $11 for a game. The last time I heard of Peacock,
Mr. Adams down here laughing at us. He knows we're struggling to find something to talk about right now.
I want you to remember that 2 years ago, I remember the name Peacock a lot. Do you remember why? Let's see if you can read minds. NCAA basketball tournament. The St. Peter's University Peacocks were the 15th seed and made a run to the Elite Eight.
You are really struggling, you know. You are a wealth of knowledge.
But do you remember that?
I do, yes, yeah. I do. Now that you bring that up.
The St. Peter's Peacocks.
You know, I'm a little bit older. My memory's not quite as good as what yours is, Mike.
Well, I don't remember exactly how their tournament run went, but I know they did upset number 2 Kentucky. They were 15 seeded, upset number 2 Kentucky. And the chains.
Are you kidding me? Our athletic director's not at the game?
Are broken. We did get a report.
I know. We don't have any chains up here.
Now we're going to see how good the athletic director, Michael Dunlap, really is. Because they have reported the chains are broken.
Sam Cook would be
Storage building's right over there.
not happy. That's the sound of the men working on the chain gang. So John Glenn going to go 8-1 on the season. Possibly Coach Edwards' chance, I'm not to have his best regular season record ever. Coach Linscomb over at Philo going to drop to 5-4 tonight. You know, that Philo-Maysville game, I don't care what the records are. I had that game a few years ago. And Maysville needed that win to get in the playoffs, and they were the prohibitive favorite. And we're upset in that game down at Sam Hatfield Stadium in Philo, Duncan Falls, I should say. So anything goes next week down over in South Zanesville when those two teams hook up. Looks like we have it fixed. So 3rd and 2, chains are good shape now. Hand off to Reese Metzger, and we got a late flag.
Reese Metzger on the carry.
And you know it's going to be a hold. Possibly. No, it's going to be a hold on John Glenn. And it is. It was close to a first down, but that's going to back it up 10. I'm sure Philo is going to accept that penalty. And they're going to bump it back. That's going to take it to about 3rd and 11 with 7:36 left here in the 4th quarter.
Mike, we have a final from Thornville.
Okay.
The Scotties of Tri-Valley have upset Sheridan 28-17.
Well, I'm sure you know Mel Pursuit. He's probably loving that because that's probably going to make Steubenville #1 in this region now, that region. So Edwards rolls to his left. He gets heat, gets away, and not for long, though. He's going to be taken down for a 2-yard loss by a trio of Philo Electrics, including number 77, Mason Runkle. So that's going to bring up 4th down. It's going to take the clock under 7 minutes here. You can feel it cooling off a little bit too, Plaz. Just you can feel the air coming through the cracks in the windows here. A little bit of wind coming.
Yes. And the Coshocton Redskins have answered the score of West Muskingum. The Tornadoes now lead 50-48.
So they went for 2 and got it. So on 4th down, and Edwards' pass thrown up, almost intercepted by number 2, Talon Preston, who probably smart he dropped it, because that would have been more like a punt. So Philo's going to take over on downs at the Muskie 44-yard line. So 25-point lead here for the John Glenn Muskies, 37-12.
And Mike, that's just the way coaches nowadays think. I mean, that's the new wave right there. I mean, back in our day, or back in my day, that would hands down would have been a punt situation. Right. No questions asked.
Plaz, how many times did you get out throw as a quarterback back in 1972 or 3? How many times did you get in the shotgun?
None, because every time we threw the ball was play action pass.
Right, right.
For good reason, because the quarterback wasn't any good.
Shotgun started coming popular about the time I was in school with the run and shoot, and
we were in the old full house offense with a little bit of the wing tee, kind of what Ohio State used to run with Woody Hayes.
And now nobody goes under center.
No.
We have a new quarterback, and he's going to be taken. There's a flag down. A lot going on here.
Oh my.
Alex Altier sacks number 19, the new quarterback, Jack Linscomb.
Down by Alex Altier.
And I would assume Linscomb is left-handed, just by the way he dropped back, and he has a cast on his right arm. And Coach Dirk Linscomb's son. And the penalties declined. It was a hold. So that's going to, after the Altier sack, that's going to make it 2nd and 17. Linscomb, a sophomore, 6'2", 175. Jack's pass incomplete there. Coach Dirk Linscomb also
pass is incomplete.
got the pleasure to coach his older son, Drew Linscomb, who had an outstanding wrestling career as a Philo Electric. Played fullback and linebacker for the Philo Electrics. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 17. Clock stopped at 6:13. Left here in the game. Linscomb drops back, throws a nice ball, and almost intercepted. We're going to have interference here. And almost picked off, though, by number 16. Guess who? Andrew Glob. He would have went to the house. Might be a defensive hold. Might be interference. It might not be anything. Two officials converge, and they call pass interference on John Glenn. Now, this is not an automatic first down. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
This game just refuses to come to a finality.
Yeah, that's going to be a while. Now, was that 3rd down? So does it stay 3rd down?
It should still be.
Okay.
Should be 3rd down.
Should be 3rd and 2.
The marker has 1st down over there, but I don't think that's the right. There we go.
Bumped it to
now
3rd
we got
and
3.
Linscomb takes the ball, and he gets nothing. So it's going to bring up 4th and 2. Altier and Sensabaugh, the initial tacklers there for the Muskies. It's going to bring up 4th and 2. Philo will stay on, go for it. Clock running now, 5:40. Flag really blowing now. Got that cold front moving in. Linscomb, drop back, throws, nice pass to Drew Wright, and that's going to be a 1st down. Taken down by Christopher Wise. Just watching Linscomb, he looks like that drop back pocket passer. Nice form, nice throw, big tall kid.
He has some zip on the football. I tell you, nice catch made by Wright that time too. He was pretty well defended.
Talking to Philo girls basketball coach Dan Hilty before the game, and he said it's a shame that his arm was broken earlier in the year because he can really sling it. Linscomb again, he gets forced to his right, the lefty, flips his hips, intercepted by Glaub, and yep, well, it is. It's an interception.
That's just amazing.
Yep. And he did it like an NFL receiver, got both feet in.
Brings up a Muskie.
And that's going to be his 9th interception in 9 games. So you're an old math guy. That's an interception per game.
Yes,
man.
it is. I can even figure that one out.
So that's going to, Philo turns the ball over down to the 8-yard line. John Glenn will have the ball on their own 8.
And Mike, I've seen 2 John Glenn games, and I've seen 6 of his interceptions.
6 of his interceptions.
It's incredible. Got to be some kind of the record.
Well, I tell you, he had brothers in the past, too, that did the same thing. Not that many, but they had several interceptions as well. So now Johnson hands off, and that's going to be Gilcher, I believe.
Lincoln Gilcher on the carry.
We got 2 rolling around behind the pile here, but everything's okay.
We just need that clock to keep moving here.
And
the
Muskies need not be in any hurry. They may run some clock here, like you requested.
Yeah, the clock right now is your friend. There's no need to hurry anything.
So Johnson and Metzger and Gilcher. That handoff is to, I can't tell if that's Rock.
I think that's Rock.
Yeah, that's Rock.
Rock on the carry.
So Rock picks it up. He's got a first down.
Brings up another Muskie first down.
37-12. John Glenn leads Philo in the 4th quarter, week 9 in the Ohio football regular season. And John Glenn is going to take its good old time here. 15 still on the play clock. So Rock, Metzger, quarterback now, Johnson. Johnson takes a snap, hands to Metzger. Metzger picks up about 7 off that right side. John Glenn still controlling that line of scrimmage. And that's going to make it about 2nd and a long 3, maybe 4. I want to thank Cam Summers' digital media class from Mideast with Carson Rowland from John Glenn and Cameron Love from West Muskingum here doing a fantastic job. Ray Shriver, our board operator, back at the station up at AVC headquarters. Hand off to Rock. Rock's going to pick up a first down. Also want to thank our sponsors, patrons, Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Laborers Local 530, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Greg's Motor Sale, Higgins Lumber Company, Doane Ford, People's Bank, Valentine Insurance, 45 Logistics, and Guernsey Muskingum Electric Co-op.
Mike, another update from Coshocton. The Redskins have now taken the lead on West Muskingum, 56-50.
Unbelievable. That will be the upset of the night. In Ohio.
In Ohio,
yes. Johnson hands off to Metzger. Metzger picks up 15, 16. And the clock now at 2:17 as the Muskies travel into electric territory.
First and 10 from the 45.
Ball at the Electric's 45-yard line. Let's see if the Muskies and Coach Edwards elect to run this play clock all the way down. Seems like they are. Under 2 minutes here. You said that score is 56-50?
56-50.
Wow. Handoff. Metzger. One step away from breaking a 45-yard touchdown run there. He picks up
Tackled by number 5.
9 on the carry.
Brings up a second.
I'll tell you, an impressive rushing display put on here by the Little Muskies in the second half.
Oh, especially the second half.
They have dominated across the front wall there. Huge holes being opened up by that offensive line.
Chunks of yardage in the second half, and I think John Glenn's going to probably the best formation in football, the victory formation. So
but you still don't get up underneath the center and take the snap.
No, because that's what they're used to doing.
Yeah.
Now, what I do as a statistician, legally, that's a 5-yard loss by Jake Johnson.
I didn't put it down.
It's hard to do. So they're going to take the snap and just take knees.
One more snap ought to do it.
Has to get it below 40 seconds, take the snap, and we will be shaking hands and adding up some numbers. And there's the snap, there's the knee, and that's the game. So from New Concord on the campus of John Glenn High School, the John Glenn Muskies get win number 8 over the Philo Electrics, who fall to 5-4. Final score, John Glenn 37, Philo 12. We will be back. You are listening and watching NBL football on YRP TV and Nash Icon.
37. Philo Electric.
This is the Buckeye Tire Pros Scoreboard Show. Beaver Local leads Cambridge 61-14. Barnesville leads Shenandoah 44-12. Morgan leads Meadowbrook 62-18. Monroe Central leads Frontier 41-6. Buckeye Trail leads East Canton 38-7. Sheridan leads Tri-Valley 23-21. West Muskingum leads Coshocton 50-40. New Lexington leads Crooksville 35-0. And John Glenn leads Philo 37-12.
People's Bank's vision is to be the best community bank in America. People's Bank provides local, hometown relationship-based banking with 132 full-service branches for all of your financial needs. As your community bank, People's Bank strives to make our communities a better place to live, work, and play. We would love a chance to earn your business. People's Bank, working together, building success. Member FDIC.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? Because everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
This new Wendy's Frosty flavor is way too exciting to keep under wraps. It's a brand new, first-of-its-kind flavor. Get this. pumpkin spice. I know, right? It's so good. It's rich, it's cozy. It's the perfect flavor for some fall frosty time. Watch, everyone will see it and jump on the bandwagon. Grab a never-before-seen pumpkin spice frosty or pumpkin spice frosty cream cold brew today when you choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla Frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Back to John Glenn High School. Mike Snively and Mike Plasiak. NBL Week 9 action here where John Glenn moves to 8-1 on the season as they beat the Philo Electrics, who go to 5-4, 37-12. Scoring started off with John Glenn. Cameron Barnhouse picked up a 37-yard fumble and returned it all the way. Point after touchdown, no good, John Glenn.
It's 6-0. First play of the second quarter, Noah Winland on a 2-yard run. Will Nikolazakis kicks the extra point good. 13-0 John Glenn. And at the end of the half, Nikolazakis kicked his 4th field goal on the year from 36 yards, and that gave John Glenn a 16-0 lead at the half. Second half, Philo comes out and scores first with Talon Bailey with a 35-yard touchdown pass from Talon Preston, but the point after touchdown failed on the 2-point conversion. That left it at 16-6. And that kept it at a 2-score game, and then that was about all she wrote. Noah Winland came back with probably our drive, and this will be our drive of the game, sponsored by Greg's Motor Sales. Noah Winland, as the John Glenn Muskies come right back and diminish any hopes of a comeback by Philo. Noah Winland has a 9-yard touchdown run. Nikolazakis knocks in the extra point. With 3:01 in the third quarter, Owen Edwards had a 9-yard touchdown run. Nikolazakis kicked the extra point. On the ensuing kickoff, Seth Henning ran a 92-yard kickoff return to the house. But again, the 2-point conversion failed, and that was the end of the third quarter. At the end of the fourth quarter, Noah Winland added his 3rd touchdown run from 1 yard out, and Nikolazakis kicked the extra point, and that was our final, where John Glenn defeated Philo 37-12. Plaz, what are we looking at stat-wise over?
Well, domination there also by the Little Muskies tonight, as it was on the scoreboard. John Glenn rushed the ball tonight 50 times for 304 yards.
Whoa.
Of course, the majority of those coming there in the second half. Yeah. Leading ball carriers tonight for the Little Muskies were Lincoln Gilcher, the 180-pound junior, 11 carries, 130 yards. Ryder Rock, the 155-pound junior, 14 carries, 75 yards, and Reese Metzger with the Lotties coming in the fourth quarter, 6 carries, 42 yards. Through the airways, the 4-quarterback combination threw the ball 13 times, completed 6, 43 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. So 347 total yards tonight for the Little Muskies, 18 first downs. They did turn the ball over 1 time. For the Electrics of Philo, they rushed the ball 23 times for only 31 yards. They were 10 of 22 through the airways for 111 yards. The leading receiver tonight for Philo was the 215-pound senior tight end, Drew Wright, 4 catches, 46 yards. The Electrics only had 142 total yards, 7 first downs, and the big stat tonight, they turned the ball over 5 times.
Wow.
3 interceptions and 2 fumbles, and that really was the story of the game, in my opinion.
And Andrew Glaub, 2 of those interceptions, 9 on the year, possibly a school record. We do not know that yet, but you mentioned Lincoln Gilcher had 11 carries for 130 yards. He is going to be our Lock 9 Pizza Player of the Game, and we would like to present the award to Lincoln Gilcher. And he's going to be able to get 1 free item, small pizza from Lock 9 Pizza. They want you to come try their Wangus burgers with unlimited fries, 100% juicy Wagyu Angus blend. The burger people come back for. So we have our play of the game, Plaz. We have our player of the game, our lineman of the game. Each team gets a Guernsey Muskingum Electric Power lineman of the game, and we are going to go with Ashton Schultz from Philo and Clay Mathers from John Glenn. So once again, the Guernsey Muskingum Electric Power linemen of the game are Ashton Schultz from Philo and Clay Mathers from John Glenn. And one last thing we have to go over tonight will be the drive of the game, Plaz, and that will be, we're going to go, it's the Greg Motor Sales drive of the game. And you made a good point. Philo comes down, makes it 16-6 early in the third quarter, and right back came John Glenn, and they took, Noah Winland took a 9-yard run to the house, and to kind of put the game out of reach in a 3-score game, we're going to make that our drive of the game. I want to go over our sponsors quickly. Patrons, Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Laborers Local Union 530, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Greg's Motor Sales, Higgins Lumber Company, Doane Ford, People's Bank, Valentine Insurance, 54 Logistics, and the Guernsey Muskingum Electric Co-op. What scores we got there, Plaz?
I tell you, one other score I would like to update one more time is West Muskingum 57, Coshocton 56.
Final?
And it's not listed as a final yet. It's still showing fourth quarter scores. So, man, fireworks going off.
Wow.
Up in Coshocton County tonight.
Like we said, that could be the upset of the night. Michael Dunlap, probably the old Coshocton quarterback. The John Glenn AD, he is patiently looking at his
I think when Mike was there, they scored 57 points in the entire season. Yeah, not just one game.
Yes, he is really
I'm
to that game.
That's not true either. Mike was a great athlete.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. So, I tell you what, Plaz, it's been fun. Looking at playoffs real quickly. Big win here for John Glenn. John Glenn right now is sitting at 10th. You know, they get a win over a 5-win Division 4 team. It can't hurt. And next week, Philo was sitting at 13 in Division 4. They have at least a 2-win Maysville team. Not sure what Maysville was doing earlier, but they were up. They were up, so it could be a 3-win Maysville team. So that's going to be a big game in South Maysville for Dirk Linscomb and his Philo Electrics next week in South Zanesville. So for Mike Plaziak, I'm Mike Snively. Final score from New Concord: John Glenn 37, Philo 12. Good night, everybody.
Hey, football fans, Laborers Local.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports.